And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of um, Gymnastics for Everyone, hosted by Makayla Loves Gymnastics. How are you guys doing? Um, First of all, I want to say I'm so sorry for getting on so late. You know, I'm used to working the overnight shift now, so my whole body has kind of completely readjusted. So I'm always up at night. So hi, RJ. So 9 times out of 10, the show is going to be late nights for now on. Like, I'm not going to be trying to. We're moving the show to later on and at night, but the show is always going to be on the YouTube channel. You always can go to the Gymnastics for Everyone playlist, the podcast playlist, and catch up on all the episodes plus all the little vibe videos I made. How are you guys liking the videos I'm making, trying to put the music over the gymnastics? I just want to make something that you can vibe to, some little collages with some musical inspirations. But YouTube is gathering me together over there with these videos. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get the copyright free versions, because the video I did with Gabby Douglas and her bars over the years with the Vogue music, I really thought that was copyright free music, but YouTube quickly gathered me together. So because YouTube is gathering me together, the views are back at real low like it used to be. I know, right? I really like doing it. I'm going to keep them coming. I just have to figure out how to do it without getting in trouble on YouTube. Because as y'all see, at one point in time, the channel was growing very rapidly, very successfully. YouTube has finally started to push the channel out to people, finally started to recommend the channel. When you look up gymnastics content, my channel finally was coming up on the YouTube algorithm, and all that shit don't went away. So we have to rebuild once again. It's a never-ending struggle over here of a gymnastics content creator on YouTube, always getting in trouble for posting gymnastics content on YouTube. So with that being said, we're still gonna do videos like that. Hell, if I'm still up, we might get one tonight. But right now, I want to talk about, and it's actually time, so we might actually be able to listen to it live together. I have to check my Google Podcast. Well, let me check Spotify, because Spotify normally put podcasts up before Google does. But what we're going to talk about today is Morgan Hurd. I'm so sorry, scratch that. Heath has a new podcast. I can't think of the name of the podcast, so don't make me lie to you guys right now. But Heath has a new podcast. He's the famous Australian male gymnast who is going through some homophobia over there with his Australian nation or whatever. He created a podcast, and his very first interview was his good friend Morgan Hurd, right? So it was a clip of the podcast that kind of done went viral on the Gymternet, where Morgan was explaining her position on how she felt like. There we go, RJ. Thank you. His podcast is called Leaps and Bounds. His podcast is called Leaps and Bounds, the Leaps and Bounds podcast by Heath Thor. Look it up, follow it, as we support Heath over here at Gymnastics for Everyone. And she was explaining her position on why she felt like she should have been invited to Olympic trials, right? And weirdly, surprisingly, we've come to a point in gymnastics history where a lot of y'all don't remember Morgan Hurd. I mean, it's been 4 years and we have a whole new set of gymnastics viewers into the thing. So a lot of you only know Morgan Hurd from her collegiate career. And you heard whispers of Morgan Hurd. You all heard us older gymnastics fans talk about how good Morgan Hurd is. But I don't think you've all ever got to witness Morgan Hurd at her absolute peak. So let's talk about it. First of all, let's play the clip. Let's play the clip of Morgan and Heath. And and then we'll talk about it. Now, we're not going to play the whole podcast. We're just going to play the clip that went viral on the Gymternet. You ready? It's about 30 seconds.
I didn't get to end my elite career on my own terms. And I think that's what kind of hits me the most. Whereas, like, if I had made it to, if they had accepted my petition to Olympic trials, realistically, I would have been like, yeah, I'm not making the Olympics. That's fine. Like, I'm at Olympic trials. And I knew that that's how I wanted to close out my career. And the fact that I didn't get to end my elite career on my own terms is just what really, like, was a big slap in the face, essentially. And the fact that he, like, continuously lied to the media and try to pin me as, like, delusional or whatever, and you, was just really, it was so gross. And it made me lose a lot of respect, honestly. I didn't.
So that's the little clip. It's 30 seconds. If you go to Heaths' Twitter page or his Instagram page, the clip is up all over the social media. And for that has created a lot of debate within the Gymternet. A lot of people are saying that, you know, they feel like, and this isn't how I feel. I'm just making this very clear. This is not how I feel. We're going to talk about how I feel, but we're going to, you know, structure the conversation. A lot of people are saying that they feel like Morgan is kind of, I'm not going to say delusional, but that's just the word she just used. So that's the first word that's at the top of my head. It's kind of was like a delusional statement because, A, people feel like Morgan had no chance of making the Olympic team, which we're going to dissect. B, they're also comparing that he didn't take Chelsea Memo, and they feel like if he was going to take a sentimental favorite, it would have been Chelsea over Morgan because at that moment in time, Chelsea was just doing better than Morgan. We're going to dissect B. And C, which is going to be the meat and potato of the conversation, is going to be picking a team versus going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into all around. Because I think that is a great debate, which is going to be conversation for us to have for many, 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 many moons to come until they pick another national team coordinator who is going to do the job of national team coordinator, which is picking teams. Because in my opinion, that's the only job of the national team coordinator is to pick teams. And so we could dissect the meats and potatoes of the conversations in a second. Everybody is after midnight. So y'all know how we do over here at Makayla Loves Gymnastics. Let's do it and let's have a good conversation. Do it, everybody. All right. All right. All right. So for those of you all who don't know who Morgan Hurd is, or who only knows her from her collegiate career at Florida, Morgan Hurd debuted as a senior elite gymnast in 2017, making her senior debut, I believe, at American Classics or whatever. Now, in the 2017 on American USA Gymnastics soil, Tom is still ever so salty about Teresa Kwiatkowski. And you know what? We're having such a good conversation. I'm going to post the link in the chat. If anybody wants to get on and join me with this conversation, you can. I know it's late at night, so I didn't ask anybody to get on. But if you want to get on, everybody is more than welcome. Hey, Duve. Hey, buddy. So that's the link. If anybody wants to join me for this conversation, we can. I'm giving it a second. We might listen to the podcast, but I'm not even going to look for it yet. But just give me a second because I want to have the conversation. And then if we still have the energy and effort, then we can listen to the podcast. So Morgan Hurd was the 2017 World All-Around Champion. What happened in 2017? 2017 was the first World Championships after Simone Biles went to Rio and really cleared house, right? So in 2017, Rebecca Andrade got hurt. Yarissa Hurdecki got hurt. Reagan Smith got hurt. So the field was very, 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 very depleted. So Morgan Hurd was able to take advantage of a wonderful situation and win the all-around title, even though Morgan Hurd was only sixth at national championships that year, I think, and barely made it through Olympic trials. I mean, that world selection camp, because at that point, it was no longer world trials, it was world selection camps. So, just even looking at that right there, if they would have went, because I think only 4 people went to that Worlds, if they would have went 1 through 4 after nationals, Morgan would have never even had a chance to even try to make that World Championships team. That's why I am a thorough, wholehearted believer of picking a team, be damned how people place in the all-around at these trials and camp competitions, because we'll talk about that when we get there. But those results, you can never really, because of everybody's international scoring is so inflated, you can never really trust those scores internationally. So that's why I just do not believe that you can pick a team based on 1 through 5 at nationals or at trials or at camp. But '2018 comes around. Now, in my opinion, 2018 was Morgan's most successful season as a whole. Morgan was the 2018 American Cup champion. Morgan was the 2018 World all-around bronze medalist in 2018. Morgan helped the 2018 team win a world team title. Morgan also was the 2018 floor exercise bronze medalist. So Morgan went to the 2018 World Championships and won a bunch of international medals. Also, I think that was the season she was going to a lot of World Cups and winning a lot of World Cup titles. So yes, in my opinion, 2018 was Morgan Hurd's most successful elite gymnastics career, time. But what also happened in 2018, Simone Biles came back to the sport. So USA Gymnastics really was pushing that girl out the way and really was pushing Simone. Like, okay, yes, Morgan Hurd was the world champion, but Simone is back, and we all know Simone is Simone. So then Morgan Hurd started to get a little taller, her body started to change. So coming around 2019, all of her routines was really watered down. Watered the F down. She went to 2019 Pan American Games, where she really didn't have the greatest of competitions there. I think the last time we saw Morgan Hurd at her peak was the 2019 Tokyo Cup. If y'all remember that competition, I think that was the last time we saw Morgan really, as a world contender on the elite gymnastics scene. So Morgan Hurd did not make the 2019 World Championship team. That World Championships was all about Simone and Suni. Then we come to 2020, I'm so sorry. And I do think Morgan was ready for the 2020 season. If you look at the 2020 American Cup, which I think is the last American Cup that we had, and pretty much was the only big international gymnastics seasons. Correct. Her elbows started giving her more trouble. Her routines was really watered down. But in 2020, I think Morgan was ready. I think that was her season of, okay, I'm still here. We saw so many upgrades from Morgan. We Morgan was one of the first gymnasts we ever saw do a starter in a Nabiva, which we all thought that was going to be named the Hurd in the 2020 Olympic Games. But she should just come back and in on her own terms if there's nothing left for her to do. The issue is with her coming back now, Johnny, is she's not Lee Ann. She's not Kayla DeCello. Like, her body just did not hold up the way others have. Because I thoroughly believe if Morgan was still, if her body still, because Morgan loves gymnastics, I thoroughly believe Morgan would still be trying for teams if her body was able to keep up. But her body keeps betraying her. Like every summer, she's always having a surgery to fix her elbow again. So, but what happened in 2020 is COVID-19. So all of it happened. So Morgan had to wait another whole year. And her body really just was like, no. And no. We was gearing up to peak out in 2020. No. So come 2021, Morgan looked rough. We're just going to call a thing, right? Morgan just did not look ready. Now, the argument has been made. We've seen other people who've had amazing careers that quad who did not look ready for trials and who still was invited to trials based on their reputation alone. And I'll give it to you, the way Morgan Hurd's career played out in that quad, Morgan should have been invited to trials just to give her a chance. I mean, she was the world champion, the first worlds of that quad. She was the world bronze medalist, the second worlds of that quad. There are also arguments that Suni did not win a world medal title in that quad. She did go on to win the Olympic Games, but we didn't realize Simone was going to have the twisties and this, that, and the third. So that let's take that out of the equation. I do feel like Morgan should have been invited to the trials, if just to do beam, if just to say goodbye to everybody on beam, if just not to do a really watered down flurry team. So that covers who Morgan Hurd is. Part two to the conversation is what she's saying delusional? Or is what she's saying unrealistic? I personally do not feel like what Morgan is saying is unrealistic. Like I said, there has been precedent of other gymnasts who have not been ready but was able to end their career because they had such a successful quad at the Olympic trials. I don't understand why Morgan Hurd was not given that opportunity. Chelsea Memo is a different conversation. But Morgan actually was a world champion, a world medalist, a world individual medalist. She had results that quad. It was completely fair just from her reputation alone in the sport to allow her to end her career at trials, or at least to give her a shot, because looking back at it, do we really think that Morgan had a real shot making it to the 2021 Olympic Games? No. But look at a gymnast like Kayla DeCello this year. If we went by her national results, I didn't think Kayla had a shot at nothing. But Kayla just kept getting better as the months. I don't think Aaliyah Finnegan, I'm not sure, was Aaliyah Finnegan at trials? I believe she was, but I'm not. No, I don't think Aaliyah Finnegan was invited to trials. Riley McCusker did go to trials. It's just, and Riley McCusker wasn't even named as an alternate. Like, that's the thing that happened with Riley McCusker. It was just like, ooh, okay. Let's see what this conversation says. RJ says, Tom was wishy-washy as hell and didn't communicate what was needed to advance. Didn't tell gymnasts what to focus on to make the team. People like Aaliyah. Oh crap. I'm sorry. I'm trying. People like Aaliyah, Charlize, Morgan, Lori, Chelsea. Exactly, RJ. Exactly. And Nisha said Aaliyah had a bad nationals. Lori had no chance. Lori did have no chance. Plus, Lori got hurt, if y'all remember. So, Lori was really at a disadvantage. But I feel like, and if the communication was you had to be an all arounder, communicate that. Communicate that. Communicate that. But I completely agree that communication was not there. And do you know why I believe the communication was not there? Because I truly believe Tom Forster did not have no envisionment of this team. He just was going to pick whoever was the top four in the all-arounder, and that was it. And to me, that leads to the meat and potatoes of the conversation, which is the job of national team coordinator. I'm sorry. This is going to rub people the wrong way. Every time I have this conversation, it rubs people the wrong way. And I do not give a damn because I thoroughly believe that this is the truth. As national team coordinator, you have one job. That one job is to pick the teams to go to these competitions and to have these girls ready to compete at these competitions. It's not to coach the girls, it's not to teach the girls routines, it's not to teach the girls skills. It is literally to pick teams. Give me 1 second, you guys. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Oh, I'm back, you guys. I'm so sorry I had that. the rhythm was taking over. And this is why I thoroughly believe picking teams do not work, especially for USA. Every year we see it. It's always this one girl, for whatever reason, the USA judges absolutely love and adore. And they give that girl stupid scores. Scores that are just unrealistic. but we see it every single year. So then when that girl makes it to Worlds, Olympics, hell, Pan American Games, those judges eat that girl up for filth. And USA Gymnastics is just lit. Yes, I have one last. I'm about to fix it, girl. I'm about to fix it. So yes, USA Gymnastics picked that one girl for these teams, right? And the international judges eat that girl up. Eat that girl for filth. And USA Gymnastics is just sitting up there looking like, I don't know. It just didn't go her way. But if you look at her gymnastics, you would see that the judges was inflating her scores. They do it all the damn time. So, this is why I do not believe in going by 1 through 5 at any national competition, because I do not trust the scores that are given at those competitions. Plus, you don't think if people didn't want to have certain gymnasts make teams, that judges just won't give them the scores that they need to make teams? It's happened so many times in history. This is why I prefer the picking of the team system. I know the picking of the team system seems the least fair, but it's actually the most fair. It's the most realistic. It's the most fair. It is the least problematic, because if the coach is like, okay, I need a bars and beam worker for this team, you know you're pretty good on bars and beam. You can jack up your bars and beam scores. Maybe, you know, not worry about floor and vault so much, and strategize the way to being put on the team. Going 1 through 5, at the end of the day, unless your name is Simone Biles, and maybe this quad Charlize Jones, you don't know how the judges are going to evaluate you. You don't know how the judges are going to manifest your destiny. I just, I've seen girls get screwed over in both systems. And in my opinion, going 1 through 5 is the worst. Morgan was having a bad year and was badly injured. But again, look at Makayla DeCello this year. Makayla DeCello come through at national championships. You would have been like, okay, Makayla DeCello, go back to Florida and get ready for next NCAA season. About Pan American Games, you were like, oh, Makayla DeCello, hey girl, what's the tea? Like, and some girls are just like that, where, ooh, I'm so sorry, they just need time. They need time. They need, their bodies is ready to peak when their bodies is ready to peak. Until their bodies is ready to peak, we have to rely and trust on what they've done in the past. But oh yeah, 19, Lord. In 2019, yeah, Morgan had a horrible national championships. But it's still, she had a horrible day 1. Come day 2, she had pulled herself up there again. So it was possible. I'm not saying that I think Morgan would have made the team over other people. I will go out on a limb and says a healthy Morgan Hurd is what the USA Gymnastics was missing in 2021. I mean, no shade to Grace McCallum, but it was missing a healthy Morgan Hurd on that team. I think in this new era of trying to do everything not like the Carolis, Now, are we grown? Can we have a conversation? Because I'm sick of immature, ungrown people having these conversations and being very immature about it when it comes to the Corollis. Was Martin and Bella horrible human beings? Hell yes to the fifth power. Was Martin and Bella evil and corrupt? Yes to the fifth power. But can we not acknowledge how they knew how to pick teams? They could see the future. They could see the scores. They could see where the national judges was inflating certain gymnast scores and deflating certain gymnast scores. And they were like, no, sir, no, ma'am. When I take this girl to Worlds, she's going to get a 14 something, not this 12-9 that y'all are bullshitting her at these national championships. Was the method to their madness right? Hell no, absolutely not. But was their ability to pick the correct team? And hell, sometimes was the correct team still going to come in second place? Yes. Was sometimes the correct team still going to come in second place? Yes. No, we haven't gotten camp scores yet because that would be or videos yet because that would be the lead story of this shit. We wouldn't be talking about this. We'd be talking about Gabby Douglas routines at camp. Uh, Plus, I don't think it was that kind of camp, Nisha. From my understanding, it was really a junior camp because there's a junior comp that they're trying to send girls to. So they were picking the juniors that were sending to that comp, and everybody else was just invited to, development. Um, so I feel like I talked about everything I needed to talk about. So let's look for the damn podcast and let's see if we could listen to it together. And I do think it's also unfair that because I feel like if Tom would have just been more forthright, we wouldn't have had like if Tom. I don't feel like Tom Forster understood the selection procedures. I don't think Tom Forster understood the way it was to pick a team. I don't think Tom Forster understood that yes, Jay Carey, even though she made it to the Olympics as an individual, still had the right to compete to try to make the 2021 team as a team member, not just as an individual. I think it was real ass that he even allowed Jay Carey to even go the individual route because again, Jay's carry scores was scores that we needed for the team. So I think again, one of the rules of being national team coordinator is you should understand the rules on how to make teams because you're picking teams. But if you're never going to pick a team, why would you um why would you learn the rules? Because you know that you're never going to apply the rules to picking a team. So I don't know. With Tom Forster, it just really I'm looking for it. It doesn't look like the episode is up yet. It doesn't look like the episode is up yet, you guys. So hold on, let me read the comments. I'm so sorry. I was looking for the damn podcast. I got distracted. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Please, and while we're waiting, please like and share the video. Please share this video with a friend. Please, and while we're waiting, please like and share the video. Okay. How did the U.S. get to send an additional spot to Tokyo minus Jade? Okay, so in 2021, the USA had we look at the team as 4 members, but technically the team was 6 members. It was 4 team members and 2 individual spots. USA won an individual spot through the Pan American game system, and they won an individual spot through the World Cup system with Jade Carey. So that's how the USA had 2 individual spots in 2016. And I really do not think Tom Forster understood this, because if Jade Carey was going to be an individual, he should have let her be an individual through the Pan American game system. But he should have not let her try for the World Cup series, because she was such a valuable player to Team USA in that quad. So, yeah, it just was nonsensical whatsoever. Tom knew he fucked up because his whole team was based on Simone. You cannot pick a whole team based on one person, even though if that one person is your... Like, you see how Brazil, they struggle very hard when Flavia isn't right, even if Rebecca is doing the best that she can, because they need them both. Even though Flavia is Rebecca is their best individual gymnast, they need both people to win team medals. And that's the thing that Tom and a lot of the people with Team USA choose to ignore with Simone. They act like Simone is an indestructible machine. Simone could sprain her ankles. Simone could tear her... Let's not wish bad things about Simone. But I'm just saying, Simone is a human being. Things happen. Team USA cannot put their entire basket of competition behind Simone. They have to spread it out equally. So if something was to happen to Simone, they can have another Chung Vault. If something was to happen to Simone, they can have another girl who's strong on floor to eat those scores up. That's not what happened in 2021. In all honesty, RJ, I understand that Jade Carey won her individual spot through the World Cup. So having Jade Carey on the main team was sending one less girl to the Olympic Games. So the fuck what? Jade Carey was needed on that main team over Grace Makayla. And the individual specialist should have went to Riley McCusker, not Makayla Skinner. And that's just on Mary Had a Little Lamb. Like, the team that was sent to Tokyo, if everybody was healthy and if nothing would have happened, would have won. But that was a big risk, that you're risking that Simone was going to be healthy the whole Olympic Games. You're risking that nobody was going to be hurt. You have no alternates for Simone because all your best vaulters are on the team, but as individuals. So you have no way to replace Simone in case something was to happen to Simone. And I feel like If Jade Carey, if the situation was that Jade Carey was not in consideration because she was an Olympian through the individual process, if that was the situation, then yes, Johnny, Jade Carey should have been on the main. I mean, Makayla Skinner should have been on the main team. Yes, but the people that were there, and again, we just talked about. I don't understand why Makayla Skinner, because she won her individual silver medal on vault, isn't griping on that team. She was definitely on the highest scoring possible team for that team over Grace McCollum. But why isn't she giving Grace the same beef that she gave Gabby? Why isn't she photoshopping her picture over Grace's picture? And that is the mistake, Johnny, of USA Gymnastics. Just relying on one person. Even though that person's name is Simone Biles, and you should be able to trust her throughout the competition, even with Leanne does not fit the issue of what we're going to do with vault. The only person who had not went and won an individual spot was Makayla Skinner. She was the only person doing a hard enough vault at that moment in time to be put on the team that makes it make sense. The only person. Now, was Leanne's gymnastics better than Makayla Skinner's? Of course. But we needed another vaulter. That team needed another vaulter to go behind Simone. And the head bitches in charge at that time for USA Gymnastics just felt like, we have Simone for vault. We don't need another vaulter. This is why, people, we really, really, really emphasize on we need another vaulter other than Simone now. And now it's not as critical because we have 5 members to a team, whereas in that squad there was only 4 members to a team. So it was really hard picking the team. I understand it was only 4 girls on the team, so it was really hard finding a strategy that works for picking the team, because being that there was only 4 girls, all 4 girls had to do every event in qualification, which is something that we never had to struggle with before. Which is something that we never had to struggle with before. Well, not since the 80s, because in the 80s, everybody had to do qualifications. And everybody had to do team finals. I'm not gonna make that argument, Johnny. I think Jade would have definitely beat Makayla Skinner for the silver medal. But I'm not sure if I'm ready to I'm not sure if I'm ready to make that proclamation. I think she would have medaled. I think she would have medaled quite easily. Who's on the team? Simone, Suni, Grace, and Jordan. I don't think floor was their weakest event. I don't think floor was their weakest event, RJ. What was going on is Jordan wasn't getting credited for her dance skills. See, again, this is why we go back to you can't trust the national team scoring because they will put you in some fucked up ass situation. What was going on at the Olympics is Grace and Jordan just was not getting the scores on floor that they were getting at nationals because they weren't getting stuff credited. They weren't getting spins credited. They weren't getting leaps credited. It and the way they was giving Jay Carey scores at that damn Olympic Games, they needed Jay Carey on floor. They absolutely needed Jay Carey to do vault and floor. Even though her bars and beam wasn't up to par, they absolutely needed those vaults and that floor routine for those team final scores. But then Johnny, who would have said that Ruby would have took those 3 hops if she would have saw um, Jay do 2 good vaults. Like I'm not ready to make those comparisons because you know I think Ruby was a lot more relaxed team than when I think Ruby went. Who went first? Jade or I think Ruby was the last vaulter, right? So Jade went before. Yeah. So I'm not sure if I'm ready to make that statement with you. Now, I will say this: Simone would have won. Simone would have won very easily. I'm not sure if Jay Carey would have won. Jay Carey would have beaten Makayla Skinner. The USA would have won 2 vaulting medals. Yeah, if Yo would have landed her Yoshinko double twist better, she would have beaten Makayla Skinner too. So there's a lot of what ifs in this conversation that I'm just not. I'm not sure if I'm willing to hang my hat on. Um, but Team USA definitely needed somebody. Either look, either Jade Carey or either Makayla Skinner needed to be on the team over Grace Makayla. And I'm not going to do Jordan Childs like that because leading up to the Olympic Games, Jordan Child felt like she was going to be that girl. So, if Yo would have stuck her DTY, I think the results would have been completely different. Um, but even this is my fear for Jordan Childs. Jordan Childs is a great gymnast as an individual. On a team, when her score is needed for the team, that's just my fear for Jordan Childs. And it's just like people used to want to argue me down when I used to be on that other show and I used to make this damn thing. But look even at Pan American Games. Like Jordan has a very tough time being a team player when it's not NCAA. And even in the NCAA, sometimes when you need to count on the Jordan Childs score, Jordan Childs is dropping the ball. So, I don't know. It's a very hard team to make this year. It's going to be an extraordinarily hard team to make. Um, Moving on, we've seen Trinity Thomas and Gabby Douglas at training camp. But we've seen photos. We haven't seen any actual gymnastics from either one of these girls. But it's very exciting that both of them are potentially in the running to make the 2024 Olympic team. Um, I do think Gabby is coming back to do the all around, which I'm not going to say is a mistake. I just really think being an event specialist is her best ticket. But, you know, it's a lot of event specialists, so maybe not. Maybe being an all-arounder is her best ticket. Because it's not really a lot of girls who are going for the all-around this year. Now, Trinity, on the other hand, but I think Trinity has a better shot than Gabby does at this moment in time. Just because we've seen gymnastics for Trinity last quad, this NCAA season. We haven't really seen gymnastics from Gabby since 2016. So, but the talent on Team USA this quad is just superior. It's just, we have national champions, we have Olympic champions, we have NCAA champions, we have so many girls who are trying for these 5 spots. And I think next squad is going to be even more ridiculous because it's going to be a home Olympics. So I have a feeling Simone is going to do floor a chutso punch front to double layout, to a twisting double, and a double double. I feel like Trinity is gonna get hurt. She always get hurt. So damn, Nisha, that's savage, sis. Um, Trinity and Charlize has been around for around the same amount of time. But Trinity has been working on her Yurchenko double. She's posted videos of her doing the Yurchenko double, so she's working on it. Story, everybody. Hi, John. Um, I don't think Simone should upgrade her routines. Actually, I think Simone should take some things out. Yeah, Johnny isn't upgrading her routine. He's changing some of the tumbling passes around. If she does do any kind of upgrades to routines, I just think it should be adding jumps and maybe a triple wolf turn. That's it. I mean, the only routine that I feel like she should try to upgrade is maybe beam, and that's a maybe to keep up with the Chinese girls, but maybe. Um, and Trinity, I think Trinity for, in my opinion, the way I see Trinity making it through to the Olympics is throwing everything she got on beam and floor. Yeah, I would prefer Simone do her balls 1 vault instead of her balls 2 vault. But, you know, RJ said, I'm proud they are just trying for it and doing it because they love it, not being forced to come back. Wherever they end up, at least they tried, not wondering how far they could have gone. Her punch front full through a third double is current. Yes. And what he's saying, John, is that she should take that out and just do a double double and do her punch front full through to her double layout, which would be an easier tunnel pass for her. You think her bows one is too much twisting for her? That's why she doesn't do that vault anymore. Ooh. But I mean, her chung still looks good. I don't think I could see if her chung was deteriorated like Jay Carey's has been, then I think, but maybe it's not as safe as the vault as her Yoshinko double pipe because maybe she's scared of twisting it into the ground and hurting herself. Whereas her double pipe, she's just scared of falling. Maybe. I don't know. I just don't see what Trinity can do on even bars. That's the event that I'm scared the most for Trinity because her watching her all gymnastics routines, the hardest release that I've ever seen Trinity Thomas do was just a regular Takacha. And okay, well then that makes sense. So then yeah, maybe we won't see. Ooh. But see, Simone herself wants to do an Amanar again. She feels like she's capable of doing an Amanar. So I get what LeBron wants from her, but I have to be able to trust Simone and her body because it's her and her body. So if she wants to do an Amanar, I think it would be a wise decision for them to allow her to do an Amanar again. Yes, at the moment. Uh, Hopefully by next year, John, all of her, mental block issues will have been fixed, and we'll get to see those vaults from her. And hell, maybe Simone is just going to be like, okay, I got the vault named after me. Let's stop. Now, whatever the reason for her not doing the bows 2 on floor, thank the Lord, because that was just a stupid tumbling pass to me, in my opinion. Now, I know people disagree with me. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, she can do it. It just doesn't make any sense. The way they evaluate the skills, it's not worth enough for all that she's doing. So, like, I could see if the triple double on floor was worth, like, what is it, an I? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. What is it, a J? Because I think a Morris is an I. So if it's a J, that thing needs to be like a M or something like that. Because we're never going to see another girl do it. At least until like 10 years from now. It has to be worth it. I don't know. It just wasn't a smart enough upgrade to me when you could do a full twist and double layout and a split leap and get and it's worth the same. Like, it's just not. Or the judges need to do more separation of what they award skills. Like, after I'm a big component of after E, everything else should be it should be a 2/10 separation between skills. So it's 1. Point A is 0.1, B is 0.2, C is 0.3, D is 0.4, E is 0.5. After E, you go to F, that's 0.7. After F is G. After G, you go to 0.9. After G, you go to H, you go 1.1. After H, you go to J, you go 1.3. J is a 1 point. I think it's still a little bit undervalued. I think it needs to be like 1.3. Plus, again, I agree, Johnny. It's the flying out of bounds on it that is just, it's unacceptable. Like, I get it, it's only a tenth of a point, but it's just unacceptable. Like, that's just not floor exercise to me. And plus, I just don't. I think going out of bounds at this point in gymnastics need to be a bigger deduction than it is. I think going out of bounds under the old 10.0 point code of points, 1/10 of a point meant something. No, I do not. I don't think not. I don't think dance skills nor turns on bars should have a cap, nor transition moves, because you can do a turn, you could do a dance that's just as hard as a triple double. Like, I mean, um, I feel like with this team, this current 20, I feel like everybody, they're just going to pick the top 5 at Olympic trials. Like, there's not going to be no strategy. There's not going to be I just think it's going to be a mistake. Um, Even with her Yurchenko double pike, I mean, that ball is worth it. It's just not worth it if Cecile and LeBron has to stand on the mat, in my opinion. In my opinion. It's just my opinion. Uh, I don't think so, John. I think they're just going to pick top 5, and then whoever sits is going to be the alternate. I think they're going to make the same mistake they did last year with this anti-martyr, anti-Bella sentiment, which is right, which is correct. I'm not trying to say they should be martyr and Bella sympathizers. What I am saying, though, is that I feel like it's a mistake to go away from picking a team. And Reby, she got a 15-1 in team finals. If she stuck all her passes, do you think they would have given it to her? I don't understand the question, Johnny. I'm sorry, Johnny. I don't understand the question. Are we talking about Simone or Reed? We're talking about Simone. If she would have stuck all her passes, do you think they would have given it to her? Giving her what, a 10? Why am I saying that like I'm mad? I'm so sorry, Johnny. I'm just very confused right now. I'm saying it like I'm mad. I'm not mad at all. I'm just very confused. Like, stoy, everybody. Oh, Simone in team finals. And like a 15-1 is like almost like a 10 nowadays on floor because hell, scoring a 14 on floor is hard. So I think she almost stuck all her tunnel passes. I think Simone has the capability of capping around a 15-5 on floor with all her landings and all her stuff intact and doing a triple wolf turn. I think Simone could, and if she add like 2 leaps out of 2 of her, I think she can only do it once or maybe twice. So she added a leap out of one of her skills. I think she could. I think Simone could cap at about 15-5. I think Reby also not not effing around could cap out around a 15. I think Reby has. I'm not gonna say Reby has more potential than Simone on floor, but we're not gonna act like Reby isn't the better dancer and Reby have better choreography. I think Reby could catch Simone on floor. I think floor involved Reby could catch Simone. It's just Reby. It's Simone is just way better than Reby on being. Just way miles. Because I mean, it's only worth a 0.1. So I mean, if she does it and step out of bounds, whatever bonus she was getting for it is gone, and it's more deducted. It's actually a smarter technique on the disc to just stick it. Now, if it was worth a 0.2 like it used to be, it would be worth it. Yes, Oscar, yes, friend, with Reby's world routine, I think Reby could catch Simone on floor, especially with her Mustafina turn, not falling, not stepping out of bounds, sticking all landings as well. Especially that floor routine she was putting together in all around finals. If she wouldn't have went out of bounds on that last tunnel pass, I'm telling you, Reby was getting ready to score like a 15-4. Like Reby was eating that floor routine up. Like, whoo. I do think Reby, from what we've seen, is the only gymnast in the world that can catch Simone. Of course, I would love to believe that Gabby could catch Simone. Of course, I would love to believe that Gabby could catch Simone. But like we said in the last competition, Gabby has to worry about catching Jordan and Charlize and Sky before she could even get to that mountain of fighting with Rebecca and Simone. I think people have a lot of wishful thinker. Oscar, you're not a hold on. Let me fix that. John, would you like to be a moderator too? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot. I'm sorry, Oscar. I didn't realize he wasn't a moderator. Well, Oscar, you could be a. Okay, cool. I forgot, with the whole We Love Gymnastics thing, some people really have stopped fucking with me and went over there with Added, so they don't moderate for the channel no more. So we need some new moderator. So yes, we've added 2 to the show. Oscar is basically a co-host of this show. um, so focus, Makayla. focus. What the hell was we just not talking about? We was talking about picking the 2024 team, and John just said that somebody on Twitter said that the top 2 spots isn't as a lock as it. My question to that person is, and that's to anybody, who is going to beat Charlize Jones? And when you answer that question to me, and then I will have the conversation on why you're crazy. Because there's only one gymnast that could really challenge Charlize, in my opinion, and her floor exercise routine is holding her back. Now, if she fixes her floor exercise routine, then, you know, I think Shy could give Charlize. I think Sky Blakely could give Charlize a run for her money. But until Sky Blakely fixes that floor exercise routine, so Charlize Jones made every event final other than vault, and the only reason she didn't make vault finals over Lee Ann is because she didn't do a second vault. She made bars, she made beam, and she made floor event finals. And the only reason she didn't medal on damn beam is because she had a fall. So Charlize really came to this world and cleared it. I mean, if it wasn't for Rebecca and Simone, people would be looking at Charlize as dominating this world championships. I just don't see it for no other gymnast. No tea, no shade. I don't see. Now, I do see how Sky Blakely can catch Charlize Jones, and that is a chong and fits in her floor exercise routine. But those are the only 2 things that's keeping Sky from being up there with Charlize. Melanie isn't an American, my love. So we're talking about the Americans right now. We can talk about the international girlies if y'all want to. We absolutely can. But right now we're talking about the Americans. And I just don't see okay. Now we've all seen my Twitter, because thank you guys, because my Twitter account is also doing better now. That when I said, hear me out now, these are the people I think that should make the team, and I picked the lineups, and people was mad at me. They was like, where is Suni? And where is Jordan? And where is this people? Baby, these are just my predictions. And I don't even really mean it at this moment in time. Those are my favorite gymnasts at this current moment in time. Oh no, we're going to talk about everybody though. Hey, was it you who did a video about racism in gymnastics? Because I've been questioning after Gabby's return how much of the applause should go to the girlies for giving. It wasn't. Well, I mean, I have done videos before about racism in gymnastics, but the recent one was Gymnastics with, his name is not Jordan, girl. His name is not Jordan. His name is not Jordan. What is that child's name? With Lanston, and he went into it in very much in depth. And I don't feel like I need to make a video about it because that video is just going to be copy and paste what he did. But I agree with you, John. I completely agree with you, Johnny. The Olympic team is not going to be this year's World Championship team. I think possibly only 2 members of the World Championship team. 3. I think 3 members of this World Championship team, and the third one is not the one y'all thinking of, really have a realistic chance of making it to the Olympics by what we've seen so far. Like Gymlandia. Oh my gosh, what did I say? Gymnaslay. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Oscar. Gymlandia is the channel. And Langston did a very lengthy, beautifully done video about the racism in gymnastics. And look, I'm not a gymnast, but I create gymnastics content, right? And I can honestly say that even for me, I see it. I see how I could do a video and my channel was doing good. I could do a video, then somebody just, because they don't like me because I'm black and I'm giving opinions on gymnastics that we all are doing, and my favorite gymnasts are maybe different than their favorite gymnasts, they're going to copyright in my channel. The diversity wasn't going to come from any other countries. Whew. If they leave Shy home, the USA is going to be under fire. Oh my gosh, they are, yeah. And John, okay, thank you. I'm so glad I reread. Let me put this comment on the screen so I won't forget it. Because yes, I feel like this is a very, very, very critical conversation about the Carolis. And again, I want everybody to put their adults hats on. We love gymnastics, may have been for everybody. Gymnastics for everybody is for adults. It is for everybody, meaning race-wise, meaning gender-wise, but meaning age-wise. We smoke weed, we drink, we are adults over here, right? So I want everybody to put their adult hats on. We have jobs, we pay taxes. I want everybody to be adults about this conversation and not be childlike, not be immature, and not be borderline racist while we're having this conversation, okay? So let's hit this vape pen. Everybody hit your joints, hit your blunts, hit your wine glass, fix you a drink, fix you a cocktail, because we better have this conversation. Give me 1 second. Story. We would never forget, not over here on Makayla Loves Gymnastics, what USA Gymnastics did to Diane Durham and how it took I hate to toot bitch toot because it took one damn black gymnastics fan who gave a damn about black gymnasts to put her story out there to be like, why is she not in the Hall of Fame? She was literally the first black girl to win the national title. If it was any other first, she would automatically be in the National Hall of Fame. But didn't nobody gave a damn because for whatever reason, when it comes to us as black people, we're not supposed to be able to victimize the things that's happened to us as black. We're supposed to just be like, okay, pick it up by our bootstraps and move. Like, no, bitch. Like, every other group, as a trans person, as a member of the LGBT, that was USA Gymnastics. That was not the Carolis. The Carolis, their hands aren't clean in that situation either, John. If we're just going to go there, we're going to fucking go there. So, everybody, let's fucking go there. Story. The thing is with the Carolis, I want the Gymnet to understand, is that the Carolis were horrible people. The Carolis did not let them girls eat. The Carolis made them girls train until their bodies broke. The Carolis were horrible people. I have to put that out there because somebody who's immature is going to look at this video and be like, look at Makayla defending the Carolis. I'm not defending the Carolis. What I am saying is, when it came to black gymnasts, The Carolis did not care about your skin color as long as you was going to go to the world championships and win them gold medals. The Carolis did not give a damn about your skin color. Actually, the Carolis would save a lot of these black girls from the racism in USA Gymnastics to be like, I don't give a damn about her hair. If I send Dominique Dawes to Worlds, she's going to win a world medal. I'm sending Dominique Dawes. Fuck y'all USA Gymnastics, bitch. That's what's going to happen. Because if it was not for the Carolis, Dominique Dawes would have not made the 20, what is it? The 2000 Olympic team, because nobody else believed in her. If it was not for the Carolis, Tasha Schweiker would have not made the 2000 Olympic team. Why? Because nobody else in USA Gymnastics believed in her because of her skin complexion. Tasha Schweiker, who was somebody who USA Gymnastics should have built up as their next great American superstar, was just sending her to these little random competitions. Like, okay, Elise Ray hurt, I guess. Send Tasha Schweiker. Morgan White's hurt, I guess. Send Tasha Schweiker. It's like, and damn it again, they did it again. This time it was Marta in 2011. She was like, I'm taking Gabby Douglas to Worlds. I don't care if she's falling on everything at this. All I need this girl to do is do bars, and she's hitting this bar routine. Yeah, she's fallen 3 times on beam. Yeah, she's going out of bounds on every one of her floor exercise passes. Yeah, she's taking a stupidly large harp on vault. But she's hitting this bar routine. If in 2011, if Marta didn't not look at the race of this gymnast and just saw her talent and believed in her, we would have never had Gabby Douglas. We would have been force fed the narrative of Jordan Childs by NBC and USA Gymnastics. Marta was like, no ma'am. No ma'am. Marta did the same thing in 2013 with Simone Biles. The narrative was not around Simone Biles in the beginning of 2013. It was about Kyla Ross. Marta said, yes, Kyla is a great gymnast, but do you not see this little powerful powerhouse? I'm investing in Simone. I'm investing in Simone. I'm not saying that Kyla ain't that girl. She is, but look at this girl. Y'all trying to force feed me Caitlin Ohashi. Look at Simone Biles. I'm going to invest in Simone Biles. And that's exactly what Marta Crowley did. And not only was Marta saying, I'm going to invest in Simone Biles, in 2016, Marta said, not only am I going to invest in Simone Biles, but I'm going to also believe in Gabby Douglas again. I'm going to bring her along to the 2016 Olympics. The fuck you mean I'm going to go to the Olympics without my reigning Olympic champion? The fuck? People wouldn't have not done that. I think, Johnny, the Romanians have been ran out of Romania. I mean, the Carolis have been ran out of Romania. I think it would be some other smaller nation that we. I think if they were in Romania helping Romanian gymnastics, I don't think they could have hit that. So, as a Black gymnastics fan, I have a different viewpoint on the Carolis than my non-Black counterparts. I understand why my non-Black counterparts feel the way that they feel about picking teams and the Carolis and so on and so forth. I, on the other hand, I I'm not gonna say I'm grateful for the Carolis because I'm not. What I am gonna say is I'm grateful that the Carolis, being horrible, awful human beings, were not racist and would not allow USA Gymnastics to be racist to the top athletes. Now, to their lesser known gymnasts, I'm sure they did not give a damn. But to the top girls, for these top girls, the Carolis were not racist in that way. In that way. Where they been racist in other ways? Absolutely. But in that particular way, they were not racist. They actually were beneficial to the Black gymnastics movement. It's crazy, John. I mean, but that's what USA Gymnastics give us. That is what the bar is. They as horrible people as they were. That's the one thing I could give to them. They weren't racist. Everything else was horrible, but they valued the Black gymnastics body. We wouldn't have gotten Dominique Dawes. We wouldn't have gotten Diane Dermer. We wouldn't have gotten Betty Okina. We wouldn't have gotten a lot of these damn people if it was not for the Carolis. Oh, okay. So let's replay. Let's see if Heath posted it yet, because that's what I'm waiting on. Seeing if Heath, and if y'all, okay, everybody help me out, because we don't have a co-host now. I want everybody to look for the Heath Thorpe Leaps and Bound podcast, right? Let's see if he posted it, because if he posted it, we're going to play it. But basically, Morgan said what led to this whole conversation is that Morgan felt like USA Gymnastics and Tom could have told her what she needed to do to make the Olympic team. Even if she wasn't capable of doing that, her goal was to make the Olympic trials because she wanted to end her elite gymnastics career at Olympic trials. So she would have done everything in her power to make Olympic trials. Tom and them did not give her that opportunity and basically was lying on her and calling her delusional that she believed that she should have been taken to trials, basically. Let's look on Spotify. Okay, I found it. Let's see if I can find the episode. Nope, it hasn't dropped yet. It has not dropped yet. Okay, John. Okay, friend. I think there is precedence. Let me put this score up because John is one of the descenders. John feels like Morgan is kind of being unrealistic in believing that she should have just been chosen for trials with the scores that she had at nationals. I'm going to sit up here and say that I don't feel like that is necessarily fair because There has been lots of precedents of the reigning world champion or the reigning world bronze medalist just getting invited to trials just because. Bridget Salone is a good example. Nastia Liukin is another good example. And it's not like Morgan felt like she was going to make the team. She just wanted to end her career at the Olympic trials because I think somebody said it in the chat before. On American soil, if we're going to be honest, more people watch the Olympic trials than they even watch the world championships, which is sad, but it's just the truth. So ending your career at the Olympic trials get more eyes on your career. They all had top event potential scorers. The people that they took to Olympic trials, Bridget Salone, Nastia Liukin in 2012. What you're saying is they couldn't have justified just sending Morgan through to trials. That's what you're saying. I'm asking why not. They sent a bunch of people who really didn't have a chance of making it to the Olympic teams through the trials. Why not? The difference between Chelsea and 2012 is there was no difference. I don't know. I just feel like with the team that was put together in 2021 and the group of athletes that was put together in 2021, there was only like a handful of girls who really realistically had a shot at even making the team. Everybody else was just filler. So Morgan could have been a filler athlete too. No, John, you're right. Chelsea, the exact same shit happened to Chelsea in 2012 too, because Chelsea was trying to come back in 2012, and then Marta just told her no. Like after, I think it was after a classics or whatever, Marta just was like, no, no. But with Morgan, no, there is a difference. Chelsea didn't compete that quad. Morgan was the reigning 2017 world champion. She was the reigning 2018 world bronze medalist. Morgan was the reigning American Cup champion. Like there's precedence to send Morgan through to this trials. There's precedence to send Morgan through to that trials. I mean, even if Nastia would have hit the bar routine of her life, would they have really chosen Nastia to go to the Olympics over Makayla Maroney? Or was it Kyla Ross? It was Nastia and Kyla. Yeah. Nastia would have thrown that team all the way off. All the way off. But I do feel like if the Olympics was held on time in 2020, I do think Morgan would have made that team quite easily. But I don't think we would have gotten Jordan Childs. I think Jordan needed that extra year to turn up. But we would have got Morgan. Ooh, this is a messy question, but in the long run, which athlete do you think would have been more beneficial to the team, Morgan or Jordan? In 2020 now, not in 2021. We're talking about in 2020. She missed camp, Winter Cup. She couldn't put a bar routine together. She was in last place. Damn, John. John. Friend. Yes, in 2020, I think Morgan would have made the Olympic team. Not 2021. I'm talking about in 2020. Her American Cup performance, I think that athlete would have made the 2020 team over Jordan, over Grace. To be honest, I think if in 2020, if the Olympics would have been held correctly, I think the team would have been Simone, Suni, Morgan, Makayla Skinner, Jade Carey as the individual, with Riley McCusker as the individual alongside her. That's how I think if the Olympics was held on time, it would have played out. And hell, even if Simone would have caught the twisties in 2020, all of the Russians were too young to compete in 2020. So Russia's probably would have came in like fourth place. Because what the hell team was Russia for to put together for 2020? Uh, if Simone would have went to 2020 and would have won everything, yes, I think Simone would have retired. If Simone would have had the Olympic Games she would have had in 2020, and I think she would have came back. Would Marta had a Bron J carry to Worlds this year? If Marta Caroli was still national team coordinator, no, and she wouldn't allow Jordan, Jay, Leanne, Kayla DeCello to do NCAA and Elite at the same time. She would make them choose. Vault, but I don't think Vault was enough this quiet because we had Jocelyn and we have other girls who can do two vaults now. If Connor was still, yes, Connor would be forced to still be in the league. Either Connor would, if you want me, I think Marta and them would have been broken Connor a long time ago. A long time ago. A long time ago. Yeah, because in 2019, Jordan wasn't doing her. It took Jordan some time to get to where we see her at now. It took Charlize Johnson times to get to where we see her at now. But I do think under Marta, Marta would have been nurtured talents like Charlize. Like Marta wouldn't have let in this girl like be a floater for as long as she was. Marta would have been nurtured talents like Sky Blakely. But then again, under Marta Caroli, all of these girls would have been retired because she doesn't believe in these long gymnastics career. It is get them in, win your medals, and retire so the next group of girls can come along. So We would have seen Simone would have been retired after Rio. um, then we would have that group of girls, and half of them would have damn retired. Like, we definitely wouldn't see the longevity in the gymnastics careers that we see now. I can tell you that. Um, but I do think Suni, look, I believe in Suni Salih's gymnastics abilities so much. I think Suni could challenge Charlize. That's the second best all arounder still. I just, oh, absolutely, John. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the coaches would have pushed them out because they wouldn't have control over those adults like they would have the minors. That's why the old system really focused on the minors because they had total and complete control over the minors. What are you gonna do to an adult? You gonna tell her she can't eat? You gonna go to her parents and tell her your daughter's being bad? Like, Simone does not give a damn. Simone's gonna do what the fuck she wants to do. And you're not gonna stop her because she's the best gymnast in the world. I think Suni, I don't know. It's just, aw. I think Suni is one of the most talented gymnasts that we've ever produced on USA Gymnastics, just like Gabby Douglas. Kidneys aren't, kidneys are very, you never, like, if she would have, oh gosh, I'm gonna shut up because I'm gonna say something real stupid, but you, you never know when her kidney issues gonna flare back up. And she could be having a tremendous 2024, winning everything, being dominant. And then right before the Olympic Games, her kidneys start acting up, and all of that is just for naught. So I'm not sure. Is there room for all three of them on the Olympic team, Oscar, you ask? Absolutely, friend. Absolutely. Um, yeah, yeah. I'm prepared for that same eventuality. But I mean, if we don't, we got Gabby back, we got Trinity. I mean, we have other people to root for. The only reason Suni's not on anybody's team is just because the jump internet is very fickle. If Suni was to put a video tomorrow of her doing a 7.1 bar routine, she would be on everybody's team. Like, the gym internet is fickle. The gym internet is very fickle. Um, but that is the link. If anybody wants to get on and join, John, Oscar, Johnny, anybody wants to get on and join, I would love to have a conversation with John about why he feels like Morgan Hurd had no shot of making it even to trials. That girl couldn't even retire at trials. Like, we all know that girl was not going to make it to the Olympics, but she couldn't just retire at trials, John. Johnny, I think it's going to be hard Oh, that's what we was talking about. Then somebody said something about Morgan, and then we went into the. Oh, okay, John, for to get on. Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, I feel like Trinity has a shot. It's two ways that I feel like Trinity can make it through to the Olympic Games. Way number one, way number one is as a specialist. What events do I feel like Trinity could specialize in to make it through to the team? There are two, floor and beam. Floor and beam, that's such a weird combination of events, girl. What are you talking about? I feel like with floor, we all seen maybe that's what Trinity is doing. She wants to retire in order and she tried to end her career on her own terms. Maybe that too. Because Trinity was another one that was very overlooked in her elite gymnastics career. Very overlooked, actually. Um, um, I can see Trinity putting together a floor routine that is competitive. I could see Trinity putting a floor routine where she's beginning with a shoot, so she's doing a double layout. She's maybe doing a front layout, double twist in the front, maybe doing a front layout full through to a double tuck. I could see Trinity putting together a floor routine that is competitive. I can also see Trinity putting together a beam routine that is competitive. I can see Trinity putting a beam routine together with like, because Trinity had a beautiful switch leap half, beautiful switch leap half. Um, it's just with both of these routines, she would need to learn some things. Like on beam, she would have to learn how to do a back handspring layout, step out, or even better, free cartwheel layout, step out. Trinity would have to incorporate a triple wolf turn on beam. Um, she would have to gather her leaps and leap, gather her leaps and leap, honey. Bars, I just don't. Even with the hardest bar routine that I can possibly think of Trinity Thomas doing, I just don't. Because the hardest single bar release move that I've ever seen Trinity do is the Takachev. Her hardest release moves that I've ever seen her do was the Van Leeuwen. Um, I could see Trinity putting together a routine with like 6 to 7 D skills connected together. But under this code of points, I'm not sure. I'm not even sure where Godwin would fit into her routine. She is learning a Yurchenko double twist, Johnny. She actually posted a video of it. Um, if you go to the Makayla Loves Gymnastics YouTube channel and my what I feel like Trinity Thomas needs to do to gather her routines together, um, I posted it. Let me see if I can find it. It's Trinity's. Y'all see? Makayla loves gymnastics. Makayla loves gymnastics.
Trinity Thomas has been one of the top women in the NCAA from 2019-2023, has decided to return to elite-level gymnastics. Exploding head, here are some routines I think she could put together. Once again, I have you all the most likely version versus the wishful thinking version. I hope you enjoy. Vault is the event where I am least sure if we all know she can do a perfect 1.5 TY, but that vault isn't strong enough to make any Team USA teams. I think she is training a DTY, which she needs.
Did you see it? Did you see it? That was Trinity doing her Yurchenko double twist. So she is upgrading it to a Yurchenko double twist. She's absolutely upgrading it to a Yurchenko double twist. A Godwin to a Yeshua. I don't see how that. I mean, it's a good combination. Don't get me wrong, Oscar Fran. That combination is a good combination. I don't see how that can be incorporated into the routine that Trinity typically does. Maybe Trinity can start off on the low bar, a Waller kip half, toe full, Maloney, Tkachev. Oh, half turn, Yeshua. I mean, Godwin to the Yeshua, through to a Van Leeuwen. No, my goal for next year is to go to the Olympic trials. That's my goal for next year. It's just very expensive. So we will see after taxes, because that's my plan, is to spend my tax money. So for Trinity Thomas, it's just going to be very hard. We just do not know. It's so many. Even with Gabby Douglas, it's just hard because we just do not know what their gymnastics look like what their elite level gymnastics look like in 2023. Doing Tkachev's to Pat is great for NCAA, but it's just not hard enough in this level of. You have to do a Church or a Downey or a Twiddle to a Yeshua. Like, you have to do something harder than just a regular Tkachev pat. And even like 3 Olympic cycles ago, a Tkachev pat was like stupid hard. And I was like, mid. We're waiting on John to get on. Wait, is he on? No, they would have. Okay, no, he's not on. We're waiting on John to get on, so John could tell me why he feels like Morgan had no shot. No, we haven't gotten any routines from Camp yet, Oscar. I'm not exactly sure if we are going to get routines from this camp, or we're just going to get scores, because it's not like they're trying to make a team from this camp. They're just, it's a conditioning and seeing, hey, where are you guys at after this whole year of gymnastics? So I'm not 1000% sure of what we would get from USAG or hell anybody, especially with Gabby Douglas. I'm sure there's a no camera procedure. You can't make videos or whatever. Story. No, I did not, Oscar. And everybody, we have another friend joining us tonight. Hi, John. How you doing?
I'm well. Let me turn you off on here. Sorry.
No, I did not, Oscar. And everybody, we have another friend.
Sorry. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. I'm up too late. It's what time? It's 2 a.m. right here. I live in DC.
Yeah, me too. It's 2 a.m. Yeah.
Oh. I saw you just hitting the blind. You just enjoying the time. So
yeah, I'm off tonight. I normally work overnight, so I'm off tonight. I go to work tomorrow. So
what time you going to work tomorrow?
3
p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I see you work like 3 p.m. to like what time you get off?
3 to 11.
Oh, 3 to 11. What'd you do with your day off then?
Huh?
What'd you do with your day off?
Sleep.
Did you like get up like at a proper time, or did you get up normally or noon like you normally do?
No, well, I normally work overnight because 3 nights out of the week I work from 11 to 7, and 2 nights out of the week I work from 3 to 11. So I'm used to working overnight. So I'm used to being
in hospitality.
Yes, I work at a hotel.
That sounds like a hospitality shift right there.
Yes.
So here's the thing. Like, okay, I get that Morgan is an all-around champion, right? And she I mean, I don't know. She's an all-around champion on an off year. So I don't know how I feel about all-around champions on an off year. Because like it's like who is here? Basically. So I'm gonna give her that, right? She was competing against who was here, right? And okay, I get that. And I know like you want to in your career, like you felt like you gave everything that you could give. And she was not she went into nationals not expecting that to be her last meet. So she didn't treat it like it was her last meet, right? So she didn't feel like this is my swan song. I'm just gonna give it all. Like if she felt like she could pull back, there were a couple of times where she felt like she stopped enjoying herself. If it was her last meet, she would have been able to enjoy herself. She would have been able to like relax and be comfortable. She didn't allow herself to do that at nationals. So at the end of nationals, when she wasn't announced to trials, that was just like, oh, I thought I had another shot to do this again, right?
Correct.
I just don't understand, how does she think that she had a shot though? Like, like how does she? What part of like anywhere in that whole year? Because I just watched a documentary, a Golden, so it's so fresh in my head, right? It's so fresh in my head, the process. She knew she wasn't ready. Slava, her coach, knew she wasn't ready. And like, and she was just talking about, they kept talking about like, look, if it was a year ago, Morgan would have been good or something like that. Like everyone knew she wasn't ready. So why did she think that she was going to get invited to trials? Like even like what criteria you think? Maybe the only thing that they're saying like Tom could have said. Tom was like emailing those girls, right? They were like emailing them like, how's it going? They were doing video conference calls, seeing the workouts. So like Tom knew your progress, and everyone had like honest conversations throughout that whole thing. She just expected to be able to invite it to trials because she felt that she had that clout, you know. She felt like, at least USA Gymnastics owe me a good swan song. That should have been united. She should have went into nationals thinking that was her end. That's all I feel.
Do you not feel like there has been precedent though?
No. Because girls don't come back. Girls don't come back after like girls in this position. Like we haven't had an all-around person come back and not make it to trials because their scores have allowed them to make it to trials. Okay, then we can go throughout the years. where can we start? When it started in 2000s? Well, we can start the U.S. dominance because that's when we started our first all-arounder.
No, let's start in 2000 because I can make an argument that Shannon Miller was never going to make the 2000 Olympic team, so there was not precedence for them to invite her to the 2000 Olympic trials.
I don't know if Shannon Miller would have not made the Olympic team though, because I think that because we had Dawes, we had Shannon Miller, right? There was a high probability that they can make the team, or not, and if not even for the team, even for the nostalgic. Yeah, well, because their names brought so much, right? It's Shannon Miller and Dawes definitely, because they had already made 2 Olympic teams. This would have been a third. Maybe Chow would have that's a different story. But like I can't say specifically because of Shannon Miller, specifically that one. But Shannon Miller thought she had thought she could make the team. You know, Mochiana was Mochiana in the 2000.
She got hurt, so she didn't make it to trial.
But yeah, no, Shannon really had it. She really thought she had an advantage making the team. And I was just listening to a podcast with her that she did with Gymnastics some time ago, where she was talking about that process for her. And she was just like, I think it was one injury. She was like, if I had not had that injury, I would have made that team. And Morgan could be the same way, because Morgan is like, if she didn't have the surgery on her elbow, she would have made the team, right?
I really think that's the only thing that really helped Morgan. I think she clearly has the talent. It's just her body just felt her at the wrong time.
Yeah, which sucks. And I empathize with that. I completely empathize with that. But being like, and if USA Gymnastics were being like kind of like charitable, they would have allowed her this respectful way to go out that way, you know? But she was looking bad though. The homegirl was looking bad. Like they were just like give us good routines. Give us a reason to say yes, Morgan. You didn't give us a reason to say yes. You know? That whole year. There was no way they could justify bringing her, then bringing the 20. Okay, if they were going to bring Morgan Hurd, why couldn't they have brought the person who was 23rd on beam?
Wow.
Right?
Do you not feel like the name of Morgan Hurd was enough?
No, obviously it wasn't.
Wow. I feel like what she did in that quad was enough for them to at least take her to trials. Now, I'm not saying put her on the team, but I mean,
no, she was a placeholder. Can't say that. Like, what did she win? She won in 2017, right? Did she win? Did she win nationals?
No.
I don't think she's ever won a national, right?
Okay, but then you can make that same argument about Gabby.
Okay, but the year that Gabby went, Gabby earned her spot to the Olympics.
2016. I'm talking about 2016.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, right? If Gabby would have been in Morgan's spot in 2012, you think Gabby would have been taken to the Olympic trials?
If she would have flopped at nationals,
yeah,
Marta would have took Gabby. Yes.
Well, because of Worlds and because of what she did at a Winter Cup, right? Or American Cup. Was that the year she beat Weber at American Cup, but not she wasn't in part of the competition.
Yes.
I literally Morgan didn't have a give.
I understand what you're saying. You're saying what your point is. Morgan had no shot at the team. Why would they waste a spot taking her to trials?
It's not even wasting a spot at taking her to trials, right? They gave her no reason to say yes. The only reason she had to say yes was that she was a former champion. That's the only thing.
My point is, Morgan had no shot at making the team, right? So there was no harm in taking her to trials and letting her end her career at trials. She had no shot.
Yeah, we're agreement on that, right? There was like you could how much you could add one more person. Come on, like and allow the girl to do this, right? But Morgan gave them no reason to add one more
But
person.
I see your point. Your point is Morgan gave them no reason to even consider that as an option for her because she just was so bad that whole year.
So
Like,
bad. I'm not trying to be. I mean, I understand gymnastics is a tough sport, but your last routine on that last routine on nationals, you felt twice on beam, and I felt bad for the girl. Like, this is not the way you want to go out. And then so I'm dealing with the injured athlete who's not performing up to par. You get last place on beam, and that's where you think that we're gonna use you, and you can't put together a full bar set. You're not vaulting, and you look at your floor, like you don't give us and it was 2 weeks later. Like trials is 2 weeks later. So like what we saw what we needed to see here, Morgan, And so why did you come in here thinking that you were gonna with these scores and this routine, Morgan? Why did you gaslighting us now? Like, we all see this. You see it too.
why do you feel like? Because maybe my only guess, I could only guess is maybe she thought they were just going to take her just so she could close out her career at trials.
Yeah, she thought they were going to be nice.
Had that conversation with somebody, and they was like, "Yeah, thanks."
Yeah, she thought that's what she thought. She thought at least give me this, guys, right? And I don't. And if she would have posted top 10 scores on anything, if she would have gave him clean stuff, right? Even with her low difficulty, you could be like, yeah, come on. But she didn't. Like, it's just like, we could. Morgan, come on, girl. Like, because I just watched the trials from 2021, and like even like Tim Daggett and like Nasia were like, Morgan, come on. Like, Morgan, come on, really, sis. Like, it's like you just need to stay on the beat. And I get it. I feel bad for her. Like I said, because if it was the year before, I have a question for you. Where would she have fit on that? What would she have fit on that team?
In 2020?
Well, she wouldn't have been the second all-arounder, was she?
I think she would have been closer to
start.
She would have taken Jordan Child's spot. Child's
so the third all-arounder.
Mm-hmm. I think if the team would have happened in 2020 like it was supposed to, I think the team would have been Simone, Suni, Morgan, and Makayla Skinner.
Makayla wasn't. Oh, okay. Makayla Skinner, the fourth. Okay. She would have been part of the team. You thought she would have been part of the team. Who would have the individual spots?
McCusker and
Riley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, a former champion has champion potential. That's Gabby Douglas. Gabby has shown that she can improve between the time of championships and trials and the Olympics. That she has shown it not once but twice, right? Where she has peaked at the Olympics, right? And that's because Gabby has given the selection committee look at this is my progress. She's appearing at every meet. She's going to the camps. Morgan has skipped half of that shit. She didn't give you anything. She's like, I can't even justify bringing you, Morgan. Like, I can't, because who was Sky Blakely yet? Oh, she pulled out, right?
Yeah, she had injured herself on vault, so she had put out out.
Yeah, like right before or something like that. Yeah, she pulled herself out. I was like so it's like you have those girls, like all the girls who are now the Grace McCullums, like these, they will all at trials, or vying for trials. Kayla, and so if you would have like a girl who would have been 20th on uneven bars, and you didn't bring her, but you somehow brought Morgan Hurd, who was 28th. Okay. I don't know. I just feel bad for her, and like, and especially her coach Salvo seems like a really decent person.
Yeah. Morgan was a great gymnast. Just injuries, like some girls just get beat up.
And honestly, her gymnastics is, she's a good gymnast, but her gymnastics is not that spectacular.
Morgan?
You know? Where?
I think a peak Morgan.
Where? Which event?
A peak Morgan beats Suni, and a peak Morgan beats a peak Suni.
What event? Oh, no, she was bronze on the beam.
Morgan has an individual beam medal and an individual floor medal.
Oh, does she? For Rhodes? I'm sorry, let me look it up. I'm not trying to hate on the girl. I'm really not trying to hate on her.
That's okay. In 2017, she was the silver medalist on beam. In 2018, she was the bronze medalist on floor. And I think she made bars finals in both of those worlds.
Okay. So then, like, there you go. So she wouldn't have anchored anything. Right? Do you think?
But in 2020, she was getting ready to debut a new bar routine.
That she was doing she was doing a laid out Tkachev, right?
She was doing a starter Nabiva, so that was going to be named
that's
out.
What it was. Yeah, she was in the starter Nabiva. She was doing the thing that Shai is doing right now. She's trying to upgrade to. Right.
So
she never caught it. Not once caught it. When her training videos.
I don't know, because Dan Morgan had her in bars back in 2020. So I'm not sure, because of whatever happened in 2020. I have an imagination routine that I think where Morgan was going to go with that bar routine for 2020.
Yeah.
But, we've never seen it competed, so I don't know what the routine. But I definitely think she would have been the second best bar worker behind Suni in 2020.
Definitely. I can see that. I can see that.
She would have been able to keep up with the girls on beam in 2020. And on floor, her floor was looking really good in 2020. So, yeah, I think she would have been able to keep up. It's just vault, but none of them was really great vaulters other than Simone. And
what was her vault? What was she doing? A 1.5 or 2?
Double twist.
Oh, she's in the double?
And I think her DTY was scoring right around where Suni's was scoring. So,
okay. No, so I just like I said, like I feel for the girl. Like I want her to have the send off.
Stop! I'm so sorry. I really believe a peak Morgan Hurd beats Suni. A peak Morgan Hurd beats a peak Suni Salim. We just never seen Morgan Hurd at her peak on everything. But
what do you mean?
We've seen flashes of greatness. We've seen flashes of greatness.
What we have seen her is at her peak. Then, if that's what the top one of the times that we saw her was at her peak, you can't imagine and be like, oh, if she would have done the bows 2 on floor, yeah, because if she elevated her skills that much on floor.
I mean, at one point, Morgan had a Morris on floor at one point,
and at one point, Gabby Douglas had an Amanar.
She truly did. And we believe that she could bring the Arminar back to this day. I'm just joking. That's delusional.
She does believe she can bring the Arminar back?
Gabby did an interview saying she's learning the new vault. Whatever this new vault is, I don't know. Am I hoping it's a Chong? Absolutely.
I mean, that's the only one she could be learning, right? What else? Rudy? Oh.
I mean, a Rudy would be worth it.
What's the Rudy? Is it 5'6", 5'4"?
5'4". Same as an Amanar.
Okay. It's interesting too. Like I think you were giving the Gabby's potential. Like she didn't do layout skills on the floor. Can she not do them, or is like I've never seen her do a double layout anytime, anywhere? Right?
Floor is the hardest event for Gabby. I just don't know. I don't know what the hell. It's just she would have to upgrade everything for this quota point.
On floor, like you were, I think I was reading a tweet, like she couldn't do anything below a G, right? She couldn't, a G wouldn't make it, anything.
We never seen Gabby do a tumbling pass harder than an E.
Yeah.
And that's just not doing 2 E's and 2 D's. I mean, if she wasn't an American, it would be good enough. But because she's an American, it's just hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to make a routine without a H and an F tumbling pass.
What's Chusu is a F?
H.
E. Is it Chusu E? H?
It's an H. A double layout is an F.
Okay.
So you need something like a double or a chutso as your first tumbling pass, and then you need to do like a double layout or a DeSantos 1 as your second tumbling pass to be competitive. Then you need some kind of combination tumbling pass to get 0.2. And I just don't know if I don't even like Trinity. I know Trinity can do this though, because we've seen Trinity do a chutso. We've seen Trinity do a bows too. We've seen Trinity do a double layout for Eon.
Wasn't she the only person to do a bows too after Simone, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So on floor of 5'9", it's competitive not to make USA Gymnastics, though, right? It's a 5'9" on floor. If you were on Team GB, they would be looking at you like, "Thank God." If you was an Italian and if you had a 5'9" on floor, everybody would be like, "Finally." But for an American, you really need to be pushing 6'1" or higher on floor because you have Simone, who's going to make a floor finals. You have Charlize, you have Leanne, you have Jordan Childs, Jay Carey. Like, all of these people are going to be pushing, and you really, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Like, I can see it for Gabby on 3 events. It's just floor. And plus the artistry deductions, and Gabby is known for bad choreography. Like,
she's a grown woman now, so she feeling her oats. Her pussy's probably on fire now, so she probably can be like, she can come in and do an adult routine, like Simone came and did an adult routine this year. I mean, just like Shy came and did an adult routine.
Yeah, no, Charlize Jones' routine is fucking amazing. Like,
that's why I love your rankings. Rankings was like Shy was number 1. I was like, yeah, the right one.
Yeah, it's my favorite floor routine of this quad. Like,
it is, and especially when she hits the triple.
Yeah, like it is such
a national say too.
And what I love about it is they don't normally give Black girls that type of floor routine. They normally try to make them be powerful and strong, and for them to give her something so soft and so beautiful, like it was just
cool. And I was thinking of this too. Like, Shy is like my favorite type of gymnast because it's so elegant, right? And it's like kind of harking back to like the Shannon Miller days, where like kind of like everything was so elongated, and that's also because she's so tall comparatively to like other gymnastics. Like her limbs are like elongated and things like that. Who would you compare Shy's gymnastics to?
Betty Okino.
I don't know much about Betty, but yeah, it was like the same way.
Yeah, Shy is absolutely the. If we're gonna say like Gabby Douglas is Dominique Dawes' daughter,
yeah,
then Charlize Jones is definitely Betty Okino's daughter.
That's like what you call it from Dynasty.
Yes.
Yeah, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I can see that. That's that in gymnastics. Like, I can see that. That's hilarious. Like, the champagne is burnt.
Yes.
I can totally see that. But yeah, I really, and then it's like Sky is like more like a Dominique. I mean, like Douglas, Gabby Douglas kind of.
Yeah. To me, Shy is. That's why I love Sky Blakely so much, because I mean, Sky is basically like little Gabby. Like
Yeah.
everything that Gabby was doing when she was younger, it reminds me so much of Sky. Hell, even like I really like Jocelyn Robertson. I just don't see it for her this year.
What's that? I don't honestly. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want anyone fucking up my all black team. Girl, I love you.
It's and see and
all POC team. Like I don't want.
Why I have somebody else black up here because I just want to say this that when we as black people, especially us as long-term gymnastics fans, do that, I don't believe that's us being racist. I don't believe we're saying that we don't want white athletes to make this team, but we just have a hope that for the first time in history that we have enough black girls, and hell, there could be a entirely black women's team and a mostly black male team with some Asian American men on that team to make two full gymnastics team of people of color.
Yeah. So I mean, so I love her. I love her gymnastics. She's a hot little. She's like very Shawn Johnson. Yeah, and so I love Shawn Johnson too, right? But like I'm just like, you putting a nail in my little. That's why I'm hating on Jay Carey too right now. So like, I hate it. I hate that. But I'm just like, oh man, just like for the
person that in my mind that's gonna stop the all black team if Suni has her kidneys together.
Suni can come to the cookout, right? Suni's POC, girl. Come on, you have a seat, right? Bring us some kimchi. Bring you some like I don't. Whatever, bring it. You can come like it was a Mohini ball wire. You can come Anna Hatch. Y'all can all come, like right, like just like.
And I think very soon we could have an all Asian American team too.
Which is good because I'm all for that come up too. Like I'm all for that representation too, right? Was the first Asian Amy to make the team?
That's a great question.
And there hasn't been one since Amy, right? Yeah, it hasn't been one since Amy. I mean, Suni, before Suni. So there's only been two.
Oh, it depends what you classify Kayla DeCello as. Not Kayla DeCello, Kyla Ross. Kyla Ross. It depends on what you classify.
Does she have? What does she
classify herself? Half Asian, so it depends.
What does she classify herself as?
One day, Marzetta Frazier did a video praising all of the black athletes on the UCLA program, and she included Kyla Ross, and that's how I knew Kyla Ross was half black. So I'm not sure.
She's Blasian? That's what she is?
I think Kyla Ross' father is half black and half whatever Asian American country they come from.
Okay.
And then her mother is fully Asian, whatever Asian American country they come from.
Okay.
So now Kyla is mostly Asian, but black too.
I didn't know she was black at all. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Is Jordan Weaver white?
Jordan Weaver? Yes.
Yeah. Is she all white?
I believe so.
Because she looked like one of those runaway girls, like those light-skinned runaway girls. Am I wrong?
I think it's the way she do her eyebrows. They're very
pull it back. There's a way she do the pull back ponytail.
she gives very chonga, like those Puerto Rican girls in Miami that draws their eyebrows.
Yeah.
They pour their hair all the way back.
Right, yeah, like they ready to scrap, right?
Yeah. But I just don't want people to sit up there because there's a possibility of an all-black team and we're celebrating, all-black podium and an all-black this, that people is like, well, y'all are being racist to the white gymnasts, and it's not that. It's just we've celebrated them for many of eons. Like, we finally get a chance to celebrate people that look like us. And
the thing is, like, I don't think that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but like, I don't think that white people look at these all black teams and not see themselves up there. You know, they don't look at it as like they're not discouraged by seeing an all black team. How like it's like, or like they don't feel like the door is closed on them for an all black team if they see an all black team, as opposed like when we see an all white team, we'd be like, oh well, ain't no room for us. Or when we see one person when we see one person being elevated, you're like, okay, well, there's only room for one, so then I have to compete against that black girl on the team, you know, because there's only room for a black girl. But now we see such a diversity of blackness on, you know, in USM gymnastics or at the elite levels. We're saying like, well, we can say the difference between a Sky Blakely and a Shiley Jones and a Simone Biles. Those are all three different types of gymnastics, you know.
That is a great point, because it's always been that to be a black athlete on USA, you had to be the powerful girl, like, or you had to be great on uneven bars. But if your specialty was like beam or floor, they really couldn't give a damn.
Correct.
But now it's like the diversity of black athletes on the team, like they don't all look alike. They all are completely different skin tones, different hair textures. Like it's just people can see themselves in the gymnastics now, where that used to not be a thing.
Yeah. So, and even seeing a black girl from another country, like Rebe, like, you know, just like seeing like not only it's just like black Americans, it's just like there's also Brazilians who are black, and you know, and just seeing like, and I don't think Flavia considered herself black, but like just like seeing like the love there is for like black athletes all over, like Melanie, like, you know, like there's a love for like appreciation for black athletes. And it's not just like, okay, we're just giving you a seat at the table. It's like, look, this is your table too, you know? And not only is this your table too, now you occupy all the spots, you know? So I won Joss. I love her, Joss. She seems like a cool, amazing, cool person. But like I said, like she just fucks up my PLC team. And I love her gymnastics. It's like, I can't deny it. She's such a cool little cool, fun one to watch, you know, like her vaults are amazing. They're cool, you know.
Plus, I just feel like with Joss, I don't feel like this cycle is her time. I feel like her time is next cycle. I just feel like.
How old is she? Is she like 6? Is she really
16 or 17? One. I know she's young. I just feel like her form. I feel like just give her a few years. Her form issues, it's gonna pick up. I feel like she's going to get a little bit taller, so her body is going to change, so it's going to elongate. Like,
so I was looking at Joss, right? And I think in 2016, I was looking at 2016 wrote 2020. I think she won an event. She won bars in the junior nationals.
Probably.
And I saw that, and I was just like, what, Joss? I was like, wait, what? And it's so interesting, like when the girls come up from juniors to seniors, like where they fit in to like where they become specialized.
One of the things I did like with Tom with the junior program, and I think they're continuing this on to this group of people now, is they don't force the juniors to do hard level gymnastics, right?
Oh, okay.
They force the juniors to learn the basics, so when they turn seniors, they can add what they need to add, but they don't have the juniors competing Almanars. They don't have the juniors competing doubles on floor. Like, and I think that's probably how Jocelyn won floor, because everybody was just watering their bars down. Because
okay. But I was always under the impression, like, because Simone, right? What's Simone's old coach's name?
Amy.
Beam. That's what it was. Simone's old coaches, Cecile. No, Cecile Laurent is the new coach, right?
Yeah, those are her current coaches. Her old coach name was Amy.
So Amy was saying like she's taught Simone every skill that she's known, but the double Yurchenko double, right? So which means that Simone has been doing these skills for at least 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
The same skill she's doing today, she's been doing it for 15 years. So at what point do we start teaching the young girls the triple doubles?
It's not the teaching them that's the problem. It's expecting them to compete them that's the issue.
Oh, okay. So right. Correct. So it's like if you've been only doing this if you only learned the skill last year, why am I putting this in your routine?
Correct. Like for example, the Yurchenko double pike is something that Cecile and LaRon just taught
Correct.
Simone.
Yeah,
So
she's not been doing it for like 4 years max.
So now she's doing it, right? And I think if Amy wouldn't let her do it until she felt completely safe that she could do it on her own without her having to be there. But her current coaches are like, oh, you can do it. Let's do it. Let's do it because you can do it. Let's do it. But I don't think that's the strategy, a good strategy for Simone, because Simone can do everything. So just because she can do everything doesn't mean she actually needs to compete everything. Now, as a coach, you have to edit and what judges are going to evaluate correctly.
Why does it mean 15 years and 7? Amy was saying that she's taught Simone all her skills that she had been done. She's done to this day. And
yeah,
so that means that she's
double, the bows one, all of the skills that we know, the double off of beam. Amy taught her these things. These aren't skills that Cecile or LaRon.
The only thing she knew that she learned from LaRon was the Yurchenko double pike. That's the only thing she hadn't taught her, which means that Simone has been doing them since at least 2010, right?
But Amy also was a coach that you train harder than you compete. And I thoroughly believe that. Like, you should train harder skills than you actually compete. Like, you should compete things that you know you can do. You should train.
So how do you feel about her doing the neutral deduction for Evolved?
I think it's fair. I think people are crazy. Just like you feel like people are Morgan at her camp is delusional for. I think the Simone Biles fans are delusional for. Nobody else has a coach standing on the ball in case they fall. Like nobody.
And it's crazy to me how like they try to like justify it sometimes, safety and things like that.
Okay, do a less hard vault that your coach don't need to stand on the
floor. That's also
you
should not be putting you up on the podium doing stuff that you need a spots on. And if you do need a spot on for your safety, okay, cool, have it, but take the neutral deduction.
That's very so much. Like I just don't understand why that's even a conversation. Like
if LaRon is putting safety first, yes, okay, cool, he's putting safety first. This is what happens when you put the safety and especially because like you're just like and people were like, okay, I went into like when Jordan didn't get caught by Cecile, right? And I'm just like, well, what are they there for? Right? If you're not there to catch, or you're not there to prevent dangerous falls, what are you there for? And it mostly went to like they're there for mental support. I can totally understand that you just need someone there for that reason. Okay, and that's why LaRon is there for Simone's Yurchenko double fight, because even in the event finals, she knows how to fall from this thing.
Mm-hmm.
We know she knows how to properly like manage herself in these situations. So he's just there for like kind of moral support, which is totally cool. It makes her mental better, right? If she's more relaxed doing these vaults and she doesn't make mistakes for that vault. Okay, great. But to be like, oh, like he's there for safety in case things happen. So like he doesn't. I've rarely seen elite coaches touch their gymnasts because they don't want to take that deduction, right? So they would rather let them fall than take that deduction of stopping them from falling, you know. And I don't understand why people are like, oh well, if you want a spot there, we can do a spots for like Yurchenko Yurchenko fulls. Or what's going to happen are gymnasts who should not be throwing skills are going to be throwing skills now because they can have a spot.
And that is where I don't want to see vaults. I don't want to see everybody doing the Prudenova to their backs anymore.
Correct. Yeah. You're going to be Prudenova could have done a Prudenova really well had she had a spot, right? And then you're gonna have people just throwing, especially at finals, right? If you have a chance for a medal, okay, pull out that vault that you can only land once out of 10 times. Because if you can't land it, you're not going to win the medal anyway. So why not go ahead and try it? You know, which is not the way it should be.
And I also feel like that people give allowances to people that they like, right? So because Simone Biles says she wants a spot or on vault, people's like, okay, it's Simone, so let's do it. But if it was somebody like random,
like Russia, if it was somebody like
if it was Listinova who was going to throw the Yurchenko double pike, but she needed her coach to stand right there in case something happens, everybody would be like, fuck no. Why is she doing this vault? The Russians are crazy. If she needed a coach there, it's too hard of a vault for her. Why is she doing it?
That's
but because it's Simone and people, we've seen her do it. And we've seen her do it without Laurent there too. Because when she was
saw her do it without Laurent.
So
he's there for moral support, and I get it, right? And I think I looked at an interview saying it was Laurent. Laurent forced himself on that decision, and now since he forced himself to be there, it's become a crutch for her.
I feel like personally, the Yurchenko double pike is a fever. The Yurchenko double pike and the Biles 2 on floor are fever dreams of Laurent Landy just because Simone can do them. Just because somebody can do something doesn't mean that she should. What you should be doing is working on, because she's lost some of her technique on vaulting, some of her block on her table isn't as good as it used to be. Work on that. Like, why have her? Like, what I don't like about with Simone is, I don't like them making her do everything that she can possibly do just because she can do it. Like, it just don't make sense. Some of the upgrades that they have her do just makes no sense whatsoever.
Like, I mean, she pulled back one from the double off of beam, right? Where like it wasn't even like it's not even named after her, is it?
It is. She got it named, but
she did it rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And then she didn't do it because like it was only like a 0.4 above than a full in, you know. And so it's like, no, that's kind of weird, like, you know.
It's just the things that they have Simone. What it is with Simone is they have her upgrading too hard. Like, we've never seen anybody do anything harder than a full in off a beam. So to do a double off a beam is an extreme upgrade. Like, it's like we never seen nobody do a double layout. We haven't seen anybody do anything harder than a triple twist. We haven't seen anybody do a double front with a half. So for you to go out there and throw a double out of nowhere, that's too hard of an upgrade. That's like,
but do you think she's? I mean, and it's, you can't say that it's pushing the sport further, because I thought also that Simone, like, as we progress along, the only thing that as we progress in gymnastics, you get harder. Gymnastics gets harder and harder and harder. Mm-hmm. And when I look back on it, like, it's like these are the same passes that girls were doing in '92, you know. And it just like, it was like, wow, we haven't moved past that. The only thing that's gotten harder is vaults.
Not really. I've made this argument that vault has only gotten harder for the top vaulters. But when you look at everybody around,
like when you look at college, for the normal vaulters, Yurchenko 1.5.
Yurchenko full still.
Sit down. Such a watered down. You're just like, that's. And Yurchenko full is what they were doing in the vault finals. No, it was a compulsory, right? It wasn't a compulsory.
It was the normal vault from like 85 through to now. But like, that's just where the girls are at vault. Like, the girls, it's to see somebody do a Yurchenko double twist is outside of America now, outside of the top countries, is a big deal. Like, we just don't see people do vaults that hard. Like,
that's crazy. And like, we just been spoiled in America. We're just like, where's our arm and arm? Where's our 2.5? Where's our 2.5?
The event to me that maybe bars, because people do way harder release moves than they used to do. Because before it used to be a Tkachev, a Ginger, or a Jaeger, and those were the 3 release moves that you had to choose from.
And the combinations, I guess, too, are.
Yes.
But the dismounts have gotten watered down, though.
Oh, definitely, because now everybody only does a double layout or a full twist and double back or a double front.
And like what Suni did a double pike. I mean, a double back. Yeah, a double back tuck.
I think the reason why is because the way everything is a D on uneven bars, the dismount.
Yeah, you might as well take. If I can do a double back and double back pike, it's the same thing. I might as well do the easier one for me, you know.
I think also I really wish the judges wouldn't change the rules based on the top teams, because that's where I feel like the Code of Points has lost everybody, because they based it on like the top girls and what the top girls can do. But everybody aren't the top girls. So like if you look at other countries, even like outside of maybe like the top 3 British girls, everybody else is like still back in like 2010 with their level of gymnastics, right? So I feel like maybe that's where the code has lost. Like we advanced the code too hard based on the top girls.
But then we're like, are you a big fan of like going down from a 6-person team in order to like get more?
No, I think the teams. Now this is where I don't believe in. Let's bring Malaysia, because they have 3 girls that can do a Yochinko layout. Like I would rather y'all send 2
top 30 girls.
2 American teams. Let America send 2 teams to Worlds and to the Olympics. Let China send 2 teams to the Worlds to the Olympics. Let GB send 2 teams. I don't know. I would rather see the top gymnasts rather than seeing a variety of countries.
Yeah, which is like, I'm against like the 2-person per, like you're not. It's not the best. The vault final is not the top best 8 final. Top best 8 vaulters. You know.
Because to me, I feel like, especially at Worlds and the Olympics, like I feel like we should have more competitions where these lesser countries can build up their reputations. But for World and Olympics, I feel like we should see the top athletes. And sometimes, because of the rule,
they're all from one country.
They're all from one country. And sometimes we just need to make it where that country has 3 teams. Sometimes it's the United States, but it's not always the United States. Sometimes it's Romania. Sometimes it's Russia. Sometimes it's China. But whoever the top team is, I think we should be able to see. Imagine if China was allowed to send 3 teams and they could send 3 girls to event finals. The bars and beam event finals that we would see.
Yes. Imagine that, right? That'd be crazy. And I'm all for it, you know. And I think it was just like kind of like it's the geopolitical thing about like not liking the Soviet Union, like, you know, and that's why we were just like they've been dominant for such a long time, and that's why they were like, okay, cool, well, 2 per country, so that everyone else has a chance. We were so sick of seeing
2000 Olympic Games when Romania was dominant. They swept the all around. That was the first time any nation won all 3 medals on the all around, and the Olympic Committee was like, nope, never again. Only 2 girls can make it to the all around now. Nope.
Which sucks because, like, especially like a person like Gabby Douglas who did not get the chance. How are you 3rd in the world, reigning all around champion, and you don't get a chance to defend your medal?
Because definitely in 2016, maybe even in definitely in 2016, the Americans would have swept the all around.
Yeah.
Maybe even in I don't think in 2012, but maybe even in 2008, if Chelsea was allowed to do the all around behind Nastia and Sean, I think the Americans might have swept.
Chelsea wasn't healthy in.
Oh yeah, that's right. She had
bone spurs or something like that. She could only do bars.
Yeah,
and she only did.
Got hurt right before the Olympics. Man, Chelsea Memo is again one of the most unluckiest athletes ever.
I know, right? 2004 and
he would have been so dominant. Like the records that Chelsea would have had if not for injuries.
Yeah, which is interesting. Yeah, it's so interesting. Do you think that she? Was she all around ready for 2000? Do you think she would have beat Carly?
Yes.
2004.
I think if Chelsea would have been healthy, Chelsea would have been the all-around champion in 2004, and she would have repeated as the all-around champion in 2008.
If she would have all-around champion in 2004, she probably would have not came back.
Probably, yeah, back then, yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, because that's how it was back then.
Thinking about it, yeah. But I do think she would have won. I do think
she would have been a start of the whole dynasty.
Yeah.
Do you think that Shiley's? How do you feel about Shiley's upgrades on bars? You saw her practicing, right?
She knew
she's going to salt her Nebieva to a hog wire.
Wow, she's trying that combination that Suni was doing.
Suni was doing a toe on. Suni did a toe on.
Yeah, she kind of needs it. I mean, especially look, Charlize. We all know Gabby ain't gonna play with this bar routine. Like if we ain't doing nothing that we know Gabby for to do, Gabby might.
But Gabby only did one. She only did one release, right? On her routines.
But because she only does Takachev, so she can only do one Takachev now, unless she learned a different Takachev from a different route. Like, well, I feel like she needs to learn Downey or a Shank to get an F.
What's Downey?
A Downey is worth an F. So
Takachev half. Takachev half.
No, a Downey is a starter pipe Takachev.
Okay.
Like what Charlize used to do. Or like,
I'm always interested why she never did the Nebieva Gabby. She always got that height. I didn't even know she trained.
It wasn't a popular release move when Gabby was. It didn't become popular until after Rio.
Oh, okay. So I like, and it's interesting. We've never seen her do the Jaeger, right?
Gabby's never done a Jaeger. Gabby's never done a Ginger. But what Gabby does have over all of the American gymnasts, Gabby can do those 1R turns that the Chinese.
What's the cap on those? The Ono, as they call it, Oniko?
It's an Ono and a lean. It's Ono, Ling, and a Healy. And Gabby can do a Healy and a Ling. I never seen her do an Ono turn, but she can do a Ling and a.
Ono is like a mixed grip or something like that coming from.
No, Ono is, oh gosh. Ono is when you start off an inverted giant and you do a one-arm grip and you land into regular forward giant. It's the first turn that Nastia used to do in her routine.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Oh, what are the caps? Are those as much as a release?
Those are E caps. So all of those are E's.
So like dance elements, 0.5. What else is a 0.5? What else is like? What's this? A pack? What's a pack?
A D is a 0.4.
Okay, so I guess like so if you can do like, and then the same route, because you can do all three of them, right?
Yeah, they don't have a route. You can do all three of them. And Gabby can do endos, which are D's. Gabby can do M bars, which are D's and E's, depending on the turns. So yeah, what Gabby has is her bars. Now,
yeah,
Charlize better release move her ass off because. And then Charlize also has what Suni gonna put together. Because I mean, if nothing else, Suni's probably gonna try for bars. If nothing else, she could put together a bar routine.
Of course she can. That's the Durwal is that
which
Nebieva half, right?
Nina has two. So which release move are you talking about? Nina has the starter. What is
Nebieva half? It's a toe on. I think it's a toe on Nebieva half.
Yeah, she has a toe on the Beaver half, and she also have a starter straddle Takachev half. So.
Oh.
And I think the starter Takachev half is an F, I think.
Wow.
And I think the starter Takachev half is named both after Nina Dewey and Georgia May Fenton. I think it's called a Dewey Fenton. But do I think Gabby could learn a Nabiva? I think she gets so high on those release moves, but
keeping the form.
Plus, it's not like she came back 3 years ago. Like,
shut up. I don't know why y'all keep doing this girl like that. Why y'all keep like, oh, we haven't seen her in 7 years, so she probably is trash. Like, she probably can't do a
trash.
cartwheel.
It's just
she probably can't do a cartwheel.
No, it's the level that she has to upgrade from where she was at in that 2016 Code of Points to now. Like, the rules have changed so much. Like, some of the stuff that she was doing is just not.
But it's just composition, though. It's just composition and stamina. Like, she has a skill set. Like, she has the things to pull from. It's just like competition and stamina.
Yes, I agree. She has the. On 3 events, she has the pull set. On floor,
except for the floor,
Floor, I can't.
We've never seen her do. She's giving junior girls right now.
Floor, I just don't know.
I think I was watching. Who was it? I was watching the Olympic trials from 2016 because I did not remember Makayla Skinner being this evil bitch that she turned out to be, right? And so I was just like watching back, and I think her last pass on Gabby's last pass on floor exercise was a double tuck, and I was like, girl, I can do that. She did a double tuck. I was embarrassed. I was just like, wait, how did this get past anybody?
See, in 2016, and Gabby did talk about it in her New York Times interview, that what we didn't know is she was hurt. She had tore her knee trying to get her arm up.
That was right before Worlds, though, right?
Correct. So she was dealing with that. So all of her tumbling, whatever plans of upgrades that she had,
never went with them.
Was gone after that injury. So,
but it's interesting. So that was the World she won silver in too, right? So she got injured right before Worlds and still went on to win second in the world. Oh, that's crazy.
Now, I would argue y'all down that I still believe Gabby beat Ali Raceman in the all-around in the qualifications at Rio. I just rewatching it.
I don't think when I was like, I don't think I took that as strongly because I was just like, okay, Gabby. I was so rooting for Ali because I knew.
I love, and see, that's the thing. I hate having this because I do love Ali Raceman. Like, she's still one of my favorite gymnasts of all time. It's just, if you put Ali Raceman versus Gabby Douglas, I'm gonna throw Ali Raceman over the bridge because I'm going to defend Gabby Douglas each and every time.
I was just rooting for Ali because I was so upset about how the tiebreaker went in 2012. You know, I was like, she got robbed of bronze. You know, and I was like, I'm rooting for sis to come back and get an all-around medal. You know, and I know that she was like, there was nobody about to win gold but Simone, but that's why she was there. And since Gabby had already gotten one, I was just like, okay, cool. Well, this is like, and it's just also interesting, like the New York Times, like how interesting, like she came back to gymnastics thinking that she could win the all-around gold again, which is like,
that's just the one thing that I personally don't understand. I was like, wait, what? I just don't understand. I mean,
where did you think that? It's like Morgan Hurd and thinking that she was going to make the Olympic trials.
I mean, unless you learned a chunk between 2015 and 2016, Gabby, I just don't.
What would you think that you could do to compete against? Yeah.
Even nowadays, I sit up here and like
a double on the dismount on beam. I mean, a double dismount on floor. That was their last pass. Like when girls are doing that on their first, that was your first pass, Gabby.
Even now, I'm just like, I hope you're not thinking you're going to come back and beat Simone, Gabby.
I don't think she is. I think she's like kind of like I don't think she is this time. But I guess if you go into Olympics, if you're going for the Olympics, in your head, are you thinking, I can be the best? Right? I guess you have to be thinking that, right? You have to be sort of delusional.
Well, I don't think it's a good mind because I think that's what happened to Morgan. To be honest, if we're going back to the Morgan Hurd conversation, I truly think what happened with Morgan, even beyond her physical injuries, is she knew she could never beat Simone, and it kind of gave her like, why am I trying so hard when I'm never going to win?
But I think making the team is different than like kind of like, because you could say the same thing about Charlize.
I think,
and Ali Raceman, who was like they're all competing for, and Suni, like all these people have been trying to like, or Angelica or Ruby.
But see, in 2021, Suni kind of was on the verge of.
She did beat her once.
Yeah,
but she beat Simone on a bad day.
But in 2016, there was no challenge for Simone. Nobody at all. Yeah. After 2020, I think Rebecca Andrade was coming for that ass. I think Rebecca was for to show Simone what she really had coming in 2020. Like I think Rebecca.
How she show Simone when she didn't show Suni?
Look, are we ready for to go here? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We've been on for 3 hours. I'm going to sit up here and say this. I love my good friend Wally. If he made a Rob Goddess series about did Rebecca Andrade win the 2021 all-around competition over Suni, I wouldn't be mad because I really feel I love Suni, so I would never make this argument. But I could make the argument that Ruby really did win that competition, and they really played in Ruby's face.
She didn't score correctly.
I feel like Suni scored too high on beam. I feel like Suni scored too high on floor. I feel like they underscored Ruby kind of on beam. And I definitely feel like Ruby kind of gave it to her with her 2 out of bounds on floor. But
I do remember that. Yeah.
But
yeah. Whose gymnastics do you enjoy watching better, Simone or Ruby's?
Honestly, Ruby's, just because she's more artistic than Simone.
Yeah, I think so too. Like I'm just imagining Ruby floating on the bars. Like it's just such a more pleasant, like kind of like
her gymnast a little bit, and I think I prefer the Ruby's body type. I prefer that taller, more lengthier, more elongated style of gymnast. Like Simone is very compact and very
powerful. Yeah.
Yes. Like everybody compares Jocelyn to Sean, and I think it's just because they're both white. But to me, Jocelyn is like
Simone.
A baby Simone. Like
she does have that similar body type, but I think like also Simone was. Sean Johnson is also very similar to.
Yeah. I feel like Simone is the best type of gymnast of that body type.
Yeah, correct. That she's that motto.
Yeah.
That motto, she's the best of that motto. Because like she really, really delivers on the D. And she also delivers on the execution, you know.
But I also feel like if Sean Johnson,
I think Sean Johnson was robbed.
In 2008.
Yeah, 2008. Yes.
You
don't think so? I guess because you like the Nasia. I don't get how you win an all-around medal doing your Yurchenko 1.5.
It was worth a 5.5 in that quota point.
I don't know how. I just don't get it.
It was worth a 5.5 in that quota point.
Right behind you is doing that plus another full twist.
It was worth a point more. But the reason why Nastia was able to catch Sean, it was bad. It was 100% uneven bars. Like
her 17 scores.
Nastia was 17. Nastia and Valeri put together I'm not going to a masterful bar routine. Like that bar routine in that quota points there was just nothing Shawn Johnson could do against that. Like, because they were
that bar, yeah, like she got a 2-point advantage.
I mean, they was judging Shawn more than Nastia, but they were pretty equal on beam. Shawn did harder tumbling passes than Nastia, but Nastia did harder dance elements than Shawn on floor. So they were pretty equal on floor. So, and then Shawn's Arminar wasn't that great.
In 2008, is that great? It's the hardest vault in the freaking competition.
I mean, it was the hardest vault, but compared to like Chung Fei's Arminar, it wasn't that great of a vault.
I don't remember Chung Fei's Arminar. Is that the one she fell on?
She fell on
her second vault.
I think she fell on her Chung vault actually at the Olympics. Her Arminar was okay. It was just her vault that she created that was kind of wonky for her sometimes.
No, but yeah, so I think Shawn was better on bars. I mean, Shawn was better on beam. Shawn was better on floor, and Shawn was better on vault. So how do you like?
She wasn't that much better than Nastia on those 3 events.
Okay, only on the vault.
Only on vault. But on beam and floor, she wasn't.
And Nastia executed the perfect vault for her at the all around. And
that's the other thing. Like Nastia was damn near like Nastia's performance at the Olympics was the last time I can remember that somebody was like damn near perfect at the Olympics. Like for real. Like,
yeah,
Nastia was perfect. Like, I mean, if it was a 10.0 scoring system, Nastia would have got 3 10s that night.
Yeah, you're right.
But what I was saying about Shawn is, I think Shawn, if she would have continued, I think we would have seen the Shawn Johnson dominancy like we hadn't seen before. Like, I think Shawn would have been that girl in the next squad.
In 2012?
Between 20, if she would have continued for the 2009 Worlds through to the 2012 Olympics, I think Shawn would have been that girl.
It's also harder for that body type though to continue.
Oh yeah.
Because they blow up really easy. And then all of a sudden, like you have to learn how to do gymnastics for another 10 pounds on you, you know? Which is why I'm amazed that Simone hasn't because Dominique blew up, Shawn blew up, you know, like not saying blew up. I don't want to say like blew up, but like, you know, they got like maybe even 5 more pounds on them, you know, and so like it's a different body. It's just like the same as like when Nazi growth spurts happen, you know, and so like you have to learn how to do gymnastics again, you know. Like
Kyla Ross grew like a whole like almost a foot like between her damn.
Correct. Yeah. So you have to learn how to do gymnastics with a wholly totally different body than what you're used to, you know, and quickly, you know. But this is why I'm so happy about. Oh, I did not know this. Also, Larry, he's not. I heard he's a hard coach.
Who?
Larry Weekend.
No. Oh yeah, he is a extremely hard coach.
Yeah, so that's because I heard it when Connor went to him. She was just like, everyone was like, "This is not the coach to go to." So, which is like, how is Gabby managing that?
I think Gabby likes hard coaches.
Oh, okay. Which is like, yeah, if a person can put together any type of program for a Nastia body, it's definitely, you know, Larry.
And I also think that Gabby wanted to go somewhere that she knew would help her with bars. Because he's known for putting together bar routine.
How hard is it to do a composition of 8 skills? When you can see what everyone remember the quad when everyone was doing what Mustafina was doing?
I think it's hard because which 8 skills are going to bring that particular girl the biggest score? Like one of that I have such a hard time with is Leanne, because I just never understand why Leanne, because we've seen Leanne do different skills. Why do she do the skills that she do when we've seen her do other skills that would get her way more points?
Yeah.
But maybe those are the skills that she feels comfortable with doing. She doesn't feel comfortable with doing other routines. So
Yeah. Who's your favorite gymnast all time?
right now it's Dominique Dawes. Ask me tomorrow, it might be Gabby Douglas, but it's between those two.
Oh, so you like the Douglas, the Dominic Dawes?
Yes.
Why? What? Like I would. 96 was probably my first time ever experiencing disappointment.
The reason why I fell in love with
The
reason why I fell in love with gymnastics in '92, and so I just always followed her career. So hell, I was used to her falling and breaking my heart. So I was used to it by then.
she was kind of known for that, right? And then come back and slaying the events, right?
That was Dominique Dawes' career. So then when Gabby Douglas came around,
she did the opposite way.
And
she slayed the all arounds and couldn't do events.
I know, right? It was just greatness. Like,
that's cool. That's cool. I mean, which iteration of Dominique Dawes did you like?
oh, definitely. My favorite year of Dominique Dawes was '94.
94?
Oh yeah.
Was that the year she did all 4 events? She won all gold on all 4 events?
Yes.
Okay. Like she fell in all around for nationals and then came back and won gold on all 4 events.
She actually won nationals that year. She swept everything.
Is it? I don't think Dawes actually won nationals.
Yes, she won nationals in '94. In '96, she fell in the all around, and then she won all the event finals in national.
Oh, okay. It's also interesting too. Like when I was looking up on champions, U.S. champions, how like 2 Olympic all around champions have never won a U.S. championship.
Suni and Gabby.
Yeah, Suni and Gabby.
Cause Simone was not having it. Well, Gabby, 2011 was a wash. She was too young. 2012, she came in second. She fell, but she came in second. But at least Gabby won trials. That's something.
I mean, her name was when I looked at the U.S. champions. Her name was out there. Come on, Heath. I was waiting for this, Heath. This episode.
Me too. He's probably gonna put it up in the.
It is. Well, it is. I know. It is. What you call it in Australia right now? It is like 1 p.m. in Australia right now.
Oh yeah, because they're so far ahead of us. Yeah.
You're doing it on purpose.
Do you feel like with this team, how are they gonna pick? Do you think they're just gonna go top 5 in the all around, or do you think they're actually gonna pick a team?
Which I was saying, like, I think they're going to do the best scoring potential, like the top, because they didn't do it for Worlds, right? Because they left Kalia Lincoln out, and she was part of the top scoring team.
Yeah, they just went top 5 in the all around.
Josh Robinson wasn't top 5.
I think she was. I think she was 5th.
Let me check. Because I thought they skipped like a couple people to get to Josh. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't remember what happened at trials.
That was like months ago.
I know, right?
And you just telling me what Dominique Dawes did in '94.
Look, that's how my memory works. I could tell you what happened 20 years ago. Ask me what happened yesterday. I'm like, I don't remember.
Let me see. Oh, I hate. What is this 20? Did Simone put all? Oh, she didn't do vault. Yeah, because Joss won vault, but she didn't. It didn't. Yes. Where do you live, Makayla?
Tallahassee,
Where is that?
Florida.
Tallahassee. I thought you said Tallahassee. I said Tallahassee. I was just like, oh, okay.
Tallahassee, Florida.
Hey, you been there? You've been there all the time? How long you been there?
For the last 5 years. Once I got married, my husband lived up here, so I moved up here. But I'm from Miami.
Oh, how do you like growing up in Miami?
Oh,
I have a love-hate relationship with Miami right now.
huh?
I have a love-hate relationship with Miami right now.
Why?
It's I'm over it.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm over it too. That's why I live in Tallahassee. But it's
And I feel really bad because I don't think I've ever given Miami a chance. Because every time I'm going down for a turn up. And then I get down there and I just be like, this is dusty as fuck.
Do you ever stay when you go down to Miami? Do you actually stay like? Do you explore the city, or do you just stay in like the down?
I only stay at South Beach, and so when that's a bad thing about it. Like I never, and that's just why I feel bad about it because like Miami has such a beautiful culture and like kind of like and things to offer. And every time I go, I only go for the turn up, and I'm not giving it time to like be beautiful to me. And then I get down to South Beach, and I'm looking at South Beach and all like the frauds and like I mean like all the pretentious like stupid dumb, like I don't know. I'm just like
Yeah, South
and
Beach
so
is a bad representation of South.
yeah, it's like going to Vegas, like and thinking like
And thinking the Strip is Vegas, or like going to
yeah,
New York,
exactly.
or going to New
And
York
I get that.
and
Every time I go to Miami, I go for that reason only. I only go for the turn up.
like when I
And
went
so
to Vegas, I went for I was blessed. My brother sent me to Vegas for 2 weeks before I got married, before I met my husband in 2017. So I really got
Joshua was 7th. Sorry, Joshua was 7th. So they skipped Jordan and Caitlin Jong.
Are you looking at national results, or are you looking at trials results? Because that was from nationals.
Nationals. They didn't. Trials were Republic.
Yeah, they
They made them public.
Well, the results are public.
Oh.
I think if you go to my Twitter page, trials is on my Twitter page. If you ever want to watch it.
No, I saw glimpses of him like the trials, but I didn't realize they did the.
Yeah, because that's how they pick the team. I do think.
I thought it was just a camp, and they were just doing a.
No, they did scores.
I know they did scores, but I thought they were just like doing like it wasn't like
The official
like Olympic trials.
No, every time they do a trials camps, they just took away the name Olympic trials or world trials and just call them camps. But it's a whole process.
Okay. So that's what they were picking. So I thought they were just literally these were the rankings. So Jocelyn was 4th for the trials.
I think Jocelyn was either 4th or 5th because I think it was Simone, Charlize, Leanne, Sky. Yeah, I think Kayla DeCello beat Jocelyn. I think Kayla DeCello beat Jocelyn. That's why they picked Kayla DeCello over as an alternate. But I do think
Jocelyn was 4th, and Leanne Wong was 5th.
Oh, she was 4th. Okay, so then they did go top 5. Was Kayla DeCello 6th? That's why she was alternate.
I think Kayla was like 7th. I remember something like that. It's not even on here yet. Hold on, let me see the results. Because I remember Gymnastics was like Kayla was like definitely not even. Where how is this selection?
But that's my issue with this new, because I feel like if they're just gonna go the top all around, I feel like that really hurts so many people because they're never gonna have a chance of making this team now. Because like
that's what they were saying. Someone was saying like they wish they had a proper procedure for how a specialist can make the team.
Yeah.
Like what do they need to do? Like what can I? Because and I think maybe that's not when Morgan didn't have even a chance as specialist like Kalia Lincoln, right? Or no, it's not Kalia Lincoln. The bars girl,
Zoe Miller,
right? It's like if Zoe Miller doesn't have a chance of making this team, why am I putting? Like the coach is like, why are we putting her through a year of this? You know,
especially if Zoe Miller, if she doesn't have a chance of making this team because she's not an all-arounder.
Yeah,
but she has dual citizenship, and she could make a Jamaican team, and she could have
correct. Yeah, correct. You know, so it's like why? And I think that Jim Cassis was saying that like Jessica and Jim Cassis was like, look, there needs to be a like if there's no chance in hell that we can make the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like as an individual, like you need to let these people know so that they don't waste their time here. You know,
correct? Like, I mean.
Because they can, like, yeah, they could try to. She could have tried to go for an individual spot for another country or something like that, you know.
And like Jay Carey, like just let Jay Carey know, because like I don't want to see like Jay Carey is a really nice girl, and I don't.
Yeah, she seems like.
And I don't really think it's fair because we all know she's not good at being. She's not good on bars, right? And under this new artistry thing, I guess floor is a wash too for her now. So she really only has vault. Is really her only.
If she can bring back her 2 vaults.
If she can do her 2 vaults good, like she used to.
Yeah. We have not seen Jay do a good 2 vaults since.
Because I could see. Because
we saw her in Worlds in 2022, right?
If you take Gabby or Sky Blakely, then you're gonna have a hole for floor. So I could see them taking somebody just to do floor.
Do you think? Because of the way that Tom did this last 2021, you think it was just like kind of they were going anti-Carolis, and that's the reason they did that's the reason to try to explain why, because of what happened to Makayla in 2016. But like we're just trying to explain away. We're like, well, we don't have to explain anymore. We just went to top 4.
Yes.
Because Grace would not. My opinion, Grace shouldn't have made it. It should have been Riley, and it should have been Makayla.
In my opinion, in 2021, I don't think Tom Forster or the national team understood how making an Olympic team works. Because I don't understand why they let Jay Carey do the individual world route when
I don't think they let her, right? I think she that was literally an individual.
But they had to because they.
In order for her to go to the World Cup, she had to be invited by the federation.
Correct, but they still had. But what I would have did, I would have been like, yes, you can do it, but I feel like you have a better shot of making the Olympic team as a part of the team, right? If they would have made her feel comfortable that doing 2 events, you could have made the team, right?
Yeah.
And then plus, if they would have let her know, even if doing 2 events. You still can get an individual spot through Pan American Games. You don't have to go through the World Cup system. We can still give you your individual spot through the Pan American Games if we need you as an individual, but we need your scores for the team more.
Wait, so you think that Jay Carey was not going to make the team without being an individual? No way in hell.
Yeah, yes.
You think she would have made the team without? But then we wouldn't have had we wouldn't have a 6-person team. It would have only been a 5-person team.
Okay.
But so the goal when you send a team to Olympics is to maximize medals, not just.
I can't help it that USA Gymnastics is stupid and they couldn't have convinced Jay Carey not to. Why send Jay Carey? You're at the time, because at the time you didn't know that Simone was coming back at the beginning of 2018, right?
Yeah.
So why send Jade Carey, your top vaulter and your top floor size worker, to
not be on your team? Yeah, I see what you're saying. Not knowing that Simone's gonna come back, because by the time the Jade Carey went to get her individual spot, Simone was not a sure thing anymore.
Yes.
So if Simone would not came back, Jade Carey would have been off the team for team scores.
Correct.
But your top gold medal routine on floor and a gold medal routine in vault.
Correct.
But she could have still made the team though. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why she went to trials. Did she go to trials?
Tom Forster and them believed that once she accepted the individual spot, she no longer could have tried as a team member. But Jay Carey and Brian Carey was like, that's not the rules. It's saying that we guaranteed our ticket to the Olympics. We're still trying for the team. And USA Gymnastics was like, that's not how it works. And they were like, yes, that's how it works. So that's why when trials came around, Tom was like, she could exhibition an event, but we're not giving her a score because she got her ticket to the Olympics. And Jade and Brian was like, that's not how this works. We still want to try for the team. And then Tom was like, no, because you already made it to the Olympics.
Because for a team for Jay would have been at that time a definite gold.
Definitely about 2021, she would have definitely been on the team. Like I get in 2018 she was unsure, but 2021 that was just a stupid decision. I would have just not taken one person. Honestly, they should, because they still would have had an individual spot. So
yeah,
the team basically would have been the exact same team with one less person. I would have took that chance because clearly we see they needed another vaulter and another first size worker once Simone got hurt.
There wasn't a chance in hell we could have won without Simone getting hurt. Once Simone got hurt,
I think the thing that
there wasn't a team we could have put up. Yeah, there wasn't a team we could have put up that could have beat the Russians without Simone scores. And that's no. I think I went back and looked at it. We couldn't have beat it. We couldn't have beat, even with Jade's best scores. We couldn't have beat the Russians or something like that.
The only reason is because they was counting Simone's Yurchenko 1.5. But if without counting Simone's Yurchenko 1,
I don't know if I subtracted that. Yeah, I don't think I subtracted that. Yeah, no, because like it was just like, because I remember I did the same thing for the 2018. Like, how could we have beat the Chinese? And there was no way in hell we could have. Like, we just
2008, we didn't have the difficulty, but I believe the thing is in 2021, it's the team that they picked is the events that they chose to specialize in. And the hardest thing about 2021 is that there was only 4 girls scorers who was counting towards the team. So you have Simone and you have Suni, who were the 2 locks for that team, right? And they were the 2 people that were supposed to do the all-arounders. But in that team, there was, in qualifications, everybody had to do the all-around. So he kind of, I get his point in not wanting Jade to do the all-around in qualifications, because she would have had to do bars and had to do beam. But
not everybody went up, because it was still. Was everybody qualifying for all?
Everybody went up, and even Makayla and Jade.
I know that. I knew that, but I didn't know that the team put up 4 people. So it was basically
the rules from last year. So that's why he went with the strategy he went, because everybody had to do the all-arounder. So he was just picking the best all-arounders. But he left himself with a hole when it came to team finals, which he did not think about. Because,
but we needed another bars, right?
We needed another bar workers behind Suni, and we needed somebody else to help
on floor, right?
Simone on floor and vault. But what happened is, with him picking the 2 all-arounders, I get Jordan Childs. Like, nobody expected Jordan Childs to have the Olympics that she had. She looked great leading up to the Olympics. But he never looked at it as in team finals, what events I'm going to put Jordan Chiles up on. Because Jordan Chiles, honestly, her best event at that point in time was bars, weirdly. Because
wow, that's crazy. She was like a Courtney McCool. So if in Tom's point of view, like she would have not done any finals.
No, in Tom's point of view, he expected those scores from nationals to hold up when Jordan was doing horrible wolf turns, not hitting her split leaps, not hitting 180 in the air, but the judges still was scoring her 14 something on floor, 14 something on beam. He expected those scores to carry over to the Olympics. Once she got to the Olympics and the judges was like, what the fuck is this?
She had no international experience before then?
That was her first major competition.
Oh, that's crazy. I feel bad for her. She failed twice, right?
So when they were looking at those leaps and those spins and they were like, what the fuck is this? And they were scoring Jordan from like low 13s instead of the 14s that she was scoring. They had no, like, Jordan was supposed to be the backup to Simone on floor and ball and like help Suni out on bars, but the judges just was not here for Jordan Chiles Gymnastics at the Olympics. It's gotten better, but they just was not here for it. And then Grace McCollum,
she was no Kyla Ross. Like, it was just
what the fuck was Grace doing? Like, Grace was.
They expected her to.
Grace is
like, I was just because like Riley, I thought like we should have maximized potential bars. Like, so you wanted to, if basically you should have 2 per country. You should your aim is the goal is to get 2 people in every final.
The issue with Riley McCusker is, and people forget this, that they had to do the all around in day 1. So with her ankle injury.
You didn't have to. We could have did it the same thing that we did in 2008.
Yeah.
Right? Where like you just put 3 scores up.
Yeah, that's true.
And like and I was because I was trying to figure out what the in 2008
and that's the strategy that Team USA should have went with. That was the winning strategy that nobody saw coming. That you put
only 3 scores. Martin was like, only 3 scores count. I'm only putting 3 scores up.
Jay Carey on the main team. Yes, you stuck on bars. You just put 3 girls up on bars. That's just it. Like,
that's all we need. We don't need to qualify. That's all we need to qualify. You're dropping 1 to begin with, so I'm just gonna put up 3.
So what the team needed to be, but of course this is hindsight. We see it in hindsight. But what the team needed,
because we know that Simone came out,
was Simone, Suni, Riley, and Jade. That's the team that needed to happen to challenge the Russians.
Wow, that's such a different team.
Yeah.
The thing, and it's crazy. I think no one was even considering Jade after she.
But that's the team that needed to happen. They just needed to put 3 girls up on bars when they won.
Yeah. And 3 girls up on beam.
And 3 girls up on beam. And 3 girls up on vault. And 3 girls up on floor. And just be like, okay. And then move on.
Just 3 girls. Because I think I think there was a team that only went with 3 girls.
I'm pretty sure because there was only 4 girls on the team, so all you needed was 3 scores. So I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's a team that went with 3 girls. Do you think the team should go back to 6 or stay at 5?
The Americans, if you ever look at the history of American gymnastics, we have never won a team gold medal with an even number team. We've only won it with an odd number team. Because for whatever reason, USA Gymnastics cannot put together.
I mean, that just like
in 90.
Did we have first 5 and 2008 was 6, 2004 was 6.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still 3 up 3 count though.
It was 3 up 3 counts, but for whatever reason, that even number team, USA Gymnastics have a hard time putting round numbers together because they just.
But we can do it. We can do it for Worlds.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know why.
We done it for Worlds because Worlds is a 6-person team, right?
I think it's
Yeah,
a
Wells is,
5-person team now.
is it a 5-person team?
Nowadays, I think so.
Okay.
It used to be 6. You're right. It used to be 6, but they done cut that thing down.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's 3:30. It's 4 o'clock, and this episode don't look like it's coming out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep.
I need to get to bed too. It's nice talking to you.
It was nice.
If it does come out, we can review it together. I want to talk and review it with you.
Okay, cool. Whenever it comes up, if I'm not at work or if I'm at work, then we could do it late night. Then we could review.
All right. Such a pleasure getting on with you tonight. Thank you so much for inviting me.
No problem, friend. Thank you for getting on.
All right, have a good one.
You too. You too.
Bye.
Close out the show. So that was fun, you guys. We have new friends. So yeah, we were trying to stay up to actually listen to the Heaths thing with Morgan, but he hasn't put the podcast up yet. So we'll do it at another time. Oh, we'll do it Saturday. That's what we'll do it Saturday in the afternoon time, because I'll have to go to work until 11 Saturday. So yeah, we could do it Saturday. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Makayla's Gymnastics, part of the Gymnastics for Everybody's brand. I will see you guys in the next episode. Toodles.